Coming to you from the world where the Triforce Goddesses and the Random Number Gods collide, this is the Link to the Past Randomizer League, and Cross Keys Week continues on strong. Hi again, everybody. I'm Jex Reffi, and today I'm joined by the one, the only, the Willard J. Bradley. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Thank you very much for asking.
So, if memory serves me right, you are teammates with JP of Team WJPTBB, and he's going to be going up against fylion from the Missing Links today.
That's what it says on the stream right now. Yep, you nailed it.
Nice.
It's going to be an interesting matchup. Looking at the overall division as well, like there's some really strong contenders for first and second, with Team Kappa reigning in first place with like 27 points, and then falling closely behind. Well, two wins behind is the Team We're Bad at Names, and then But We're Buddies. 3 wins behind that. So honestly, I need my teammates to win, including myself. Well, I'll be racing tomorrow. We need to win these if we want to stay in. But if fylion and the Missing Links want to mess up our chances, this is their opportunity to do so.
Absolutely.
But who knows? Depending on, there's still 2 more weeks after this. Missing Links, if they can take a 2-0 victory this week, could potentially bring it on back and duke it out for third, maybe. I haven't actually crunched the numbers, but either way, we're doing some cross-world entrance shuffle plus Keysanity. And that Anity part of Keysanity is because this mode's insane. And basically anything happened. So I couldn't even tell you my prediction who's going to win this race.
No, not at all. I mean, it was funny. I was commentating Sabotender's race last night, and he, at one point, he was asking the seed generator to be nice to not roll trash. I'm like, this is Cross Keys. Trash is a requirement.
Yep. Pretty much. I've been running seeds all week, and I have yet to find a good cross key seed.
I know. I've got my race on Sunday, and I'm in that same boat where I'm practicing, and just every single one is just like not fun.
Yeah, I've slowly learned over time. I'm like, you know what? Maybe I don't like racing this mode. So, but doesn't matter. Got to do it.
You got to do it if you want the points. And in just a few seconds, we should be seeing fylion and JP get underway. So what's your normal starting route? What do you like to do when you start a cross key seed?
I generally like to head to Kakariko, but usually what I try and aim for is obviously find bombs, and then second, start checking them drop downs. Because if you can get you want to get that early information about where Ganon is. If something's locked by Lumberjack and requires Castle Tower to complete. And Kakariko Well, is a good number of items to find for right off the bat, so it's nice to get that one out of the way, and it looks like that's what fylyon's going to be doing, while JP taking a very interesting route, heading straight over to the Lake Hylia checks, and then probably maybe up to Eastern, so he's going for some interesting options here. I like it.
Finds the Smith at the Fortune Tower at Lake Hylia, and fylion finds bombs in the Tier 1 tree pole.
Also saw a small key on Lake Hylia, and Uncle's going to be vanilla today, while JP finds a dark cave, which could be 5 different entrances, possibly. Could even be where we normally rescue the old man and our trip up to Death Mountain, but without any really way of knowing what's in there, JP's going to say nah, and head on over to follow in fylyon's footsteps.
Alright, so fylion... So he did another enemy kill knowing that the Tier 1 tree pole was bombs, so I would imagine he is... Yeah, I was going to say fylion, I thought you were pulling that to get more bombs. He almost walked away from it.
It's kind of nice to get Uncle here, or at least, a drop down that you can get to from either side of the entrance, because it's kind of annoying when you go this way and it's like Cackwell, and then you have to go walk all the way around. So that works out pretty well for both players. And now we're going to see some gloves here in Sanctuary, And if this just ends up being vanilla as well, we can hop right in the back and do back of escape immediately.
Instead, it's at the well, which makes it even easier because you didn't need the glove that was in there.
Yeah, the nice thing about that glove is we will be able to check escape as well. So basically, you're going to be able to get all of our drop-down information and be able to rule exactly what's going to be at the Ganon drop past GT. We got a compass here in the back for Hera. We got a blue mail, and we got the mitts.
2-minute mitts.
Well, that's interesting. It really doesn't tell you too much until we get that moon pearl, but kind of a nice find.
The one thing that'll be nice is that once you get the moon pearl, at least you have a easier way to dark world at that point. And JP finding Hera at the blue woman in Kakariko's house. I don't know if there's a better name for that, but I just always write.
I call her Left Snitch or Snitch L. Snitch L, Snitch R. There's also Dance Left and Dance Right, which is over here, which is where the little elder's wife is dancing. I think that's what it is. I've kind of gotten used to having a whole bunch of like shortened names to keep track of stuff and to take notes a lot more efficiently. There is our old man, our mountain save. So that's another connector to write down for later.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually one of the easier dark rooms to get through of the 6 caves.
Yeah,
it's only one room, and you just kind of hold down right once you get over there. So
exactly. All right, JP's gonna drop down into the well to get his Titan's mitts.
Will be interesting to see if fylion or if JP if they decide to journey a little bit into Tower of Hera. I know it's not very efficient to use bombs to hit the switches to check the items there, but if there's like a sword or the moon pearl or something there early, you're gonna want it before you go adventure anywhere else.
Yeah, I kind of think you've got so much to check early on. Like I think if you had some way to do it faster, or if you had a key, I'd be more inclined to probably do it right away. But the fact that you've got so much of the world that you still have to kind of figure out where things are in the world, I'd probably stay away from dipping a dungeon until you absolutely need to, or you have the tools to do it.
Yeah, we'll see.
I mean, that's
okay. We got information about Turtle Rock and Skull Woods going to be our 2. And I believe that was that the fairy drop down here at Magic Bat?
Yep.
Cool. So that's one less thing you got to worry about. Cool info. Thank you, Kakariko. Very cool.
And we got a blue cane in the bomb hut of Kakariko.
And another connector here at the front of Tavern. So that's the thing that I find kind of challenging when you're in a section. And another connector, wow, at the bomb shop. Or just the Kakariko shop. That's kind of the challenge. It's like, okay, which connectors do I take? And do I go back? Do I check more entrances in Kakariko first? We got a quick way over to Eastern Palace, which is kind of nice, I guess.
Could be, depending on what's over there.
I would almost take that Burna to go check the first 2 chests in Tower of Hera. Now, the only thing that I'm worried about for JP is that it's going to be, I think it'd be really easy for him to actually forget about Hera entirely. You know, you write it down. It's like, okay, I'll come back here when I have stuff. When I have like a sword or can get through there without having to use bombs. But I could see him just writing that off forever and going on a magical journey elsewhere. But hopefully that's not the case. Mm-hmm.
So fylion now about to see that Eastern Palace is on the other side of the brother's hut. And for him, he's going to keep going. Go over and check Sahasrara.
Question in chat, what? Back of Tavern's vanilla? Yeah, here's the thing. It's the only backwards entrance, or backdoor entrance, in the game. So there's nothing to shuffle it with. So it always remains the same.
Pretty much.
There's the tavern. Alright, we did see Desert Boss as well. Was that fylion that just saw that Sahasrara's hut?
No, that was Mimic Cave. Back of Desert. Cave. Yeah, Back of Desert was in
Right,
Kakariko. Yeah, both of them have seen it. And there's the front of desert.
All right. Well, we can get information about what's on the torch. We can grab a chest back here, and then that also means we've got 2 more entrances we can go check, see what's on the other side there.
Considering the proximity of both of them, you could also conceivably see one of them go steal the key from the back, and then go check the 2 items, see if they're necessary. If they're not, then save scum the key for the back for Lamulus.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. Finally, got to be a little careful. 10 to 1 heart. So for cross keys, obviously, early items that are beneficial would be, glove. Moon Pearl, so you have access to Dark World stuff once you find it. Obviously, boots are always great to have because you go fast. Flute is great because it can help you check stuff like Ice Rock Cave quickly, and we find another connector. Jeez.
And we got Ganon in the Lost Wood Shack today, so...
More. Bringing out that Burna, save his life. Good call there, fylion. It's like JP gonna farm some blue rupees from the bush crab. He does need enough rupees for that bottle merchant, while fylion realizing a little too late that hints are not on. And I don't think hints have been on at all for this league.
Nope.
Not even for mystery. I made that mistake, but... What do we got at Lumberjack? Is it gonna be... Ooh, yeah, I hate to see that.
5 items behind Aga 1. And 2 Castle Tower keys.
So... And the worst thing about that is you have no idea if it's required.
Nope.
And it's a bit of a commitment. But, hey, it could be worse. Cackwell could be a Ganon behind GT, so... Not the end of the world, just kind of not ideal. Ooh, we got the Mire Shed. And we are going to see some Tower of Hera from fylion, so this is interesting.
Piece of heart to start. fylion doesn't even bother with it, whereas I would be like, give me that piece of heart, I need it.
And second item going to be $100. And get that bottle merchant out of the way without having to leave Kakariko. But yeah, it is interesting coming in here without having like a sword or anything, so having to use Burna and bombs.
Meanwhile, JP seeing that Swamp Palace is at the Lumberjack Shack.
Yeah, one of the unique things about Entrance Shuffle is the fact that once you find the dam and drain the water, it's always going to remain drained, so you can get the item by the dam spot, or Swamp will have the front part of it filled with water. So that is part of the ability to clear Swamp, is you got to go find the dam somewhere.
And we've got the Lostwood Shack at the Sanctuary, holding bombs.
All right, so what does that leave? We got Lumberjack and... What was the other one? There's got to be one more.
So we've seen all of them except Useless Fairy, and then by process of elimination, figure out what Ganon is. Which JP's just gonna drop down.
So this should be Bat or Lumberjack.
It's Lumberjack. So we got Bat at Ganon.
Yep, and that is all of our drop down information. So not the most, not the best, but Ganon's not locked by anything in particular. So who knows? Nope. Might get lucky and not even have to do Aga Tower or go back of Cackwell or anything like that. So now that you're at this point, what's next? You got a bunch of green squares on that tracker, maybe, and you got a bunch of slow walks to go check all of them.
Yep. While we were watching some things earlier, should point out that both runners got the map to desert. fylion did a map check, and so we know desert is a crystal.
Cool. So we have 3 crystal information so far. We can find Sahasrara. We can get our green pendant information. Almost Saha. Treated instead. We saw that on fylion side earlier. So at this point, it's either... connector that we found but haven't gone through, or I guess, yeah, probably some of the checks down South Shore, maybe at the dam, all the way over to Desert, is what we're kind of looking at now, I think.
Fylion found Desert Center, and then did the 2 checks, and then went through Desert Left. I don't think he went through Desert Right, so we'll see if JP decides to check right after realizing that Center is what they've already seen.
Looks like he's going back through main entrance. Okay. All right. Carry on.
So now he's going to check the right side. GFE in chat pointing out that JP hadn't seen Desert Central until now. Well, okay. Neither runners.
I thought he had come in through the main entrance, but he guessed he did the opposite and came from left. Oh, well, there's one of our ways to Dark World, but need that Moon Pearl and that hammer, but that's good information. Though once you get Moon Pearl, you could just go through the normal portal north of Kakariko, so. All right. Dam, Desert Farm, which is the Ruby Farm underneath the rock. Desert Ferry, Agnes Cave, that's kind of probably what we're looking at now, maybe. But it looks like JP is going to head east from the South Shore trip. Also, can't forget Witch's Hut. It's also one we haven't seen yet.
And one thing I've seen a couple people do early on is they'll go south from Link's house. They'll fake Flipper, get Potion Shop, and then use the Useless Fairy to then Houlihan to get cash for bombs. As kind of a way to not orphan the Potion Shop as you would with doing other checks. And we got a big key to Swamp.
That is actually pretty interesting. Open your route. You just go Link's house, and then do the Houlihan. And then that way you can kind of get an idea of what the drop down is, at least at the ferry one. The only downside is, like, there are a ton of shops in the game, but you could still potentially go for a while without actually finding one.
Yeah.
Well, there's one. I'm pretty sure they've already seen one before as well. All right, couple of checks left. Did we already? I don't know if we've actually seen... No, we haven't. We have not seen this. And both players finding Turtle Rock. JP met swiftly with a laser to the forehead. There's got to be something here. Well, yeah, there's the Moon Pearl. Jeez. And a vanilla small key. You know, that Burna in hand kind of, might have led him to here. Might have been the logical progression. So that's really good for Fylion starting off. And of course, once JP's done over in Desert, I believe that's probably all he's got left to go check. But we got Dark World, baby. We got tons of stuff we can do there. We got Fylion dying again.
Trying to get that 4th chest.
Just use the Burna. Burna. There you go. What are you doing? This is good content right here.
You know, I was totally for the last minute wanting to do like a Burna in the hand is worth 2 in the bush, but Phylion's is providing better entertainment than that lame joke.
He's got to be careful though that he doesn't get 1.0'd. But I guess it wouldn't matter that much. He's died enough that he's saved. So even if he crashes, and it was all for $20. All right. Well, JP gonna be heading to the south part here. I like it because Fylion I think he was trying to be cheeky and use the Burna to push the red hard hat beetle away. But then I don't know why he turned it off to try and save magic. It's great.
Probably. And we got Super Bunny Cave at the race game entrance.
And the top part of it, so you don't have to go through that long section. JP actually taking a connector that was I believe it was at the tavern. Oh, this actually works out well for Fylion because he's going to get all of his magic back. And 300 smackers. Don't forget that Zora is in logic.
Ooh. JP getting noped with the Peg Cave. Although once he gets that Moon Pearl, That well, again, we've got the normal way to get to Village of Outcasts, so.
Mm-hmm. And now that we know that Moon Pearl is there, we did also see the Smiths, so we could do Smith Chain pretty quickly once we get into the Dark World. All right, JP just has to follow this all the way down to the south. Finally, I'm noticing that there's nothing on the maze race, so now it's a matter of heading back to probably Sanctuary, heading up to the Dark World, and start knocking out these Village of Outcasts checks. Very interesting start. Already have Dark World access. Basically no items. None.
Yeah, it does open up. Well, right now you can't get to the west side of Dark World, but you do still have a significant portion of Dark World now open to you.
You mean the east side?
Yes. Well, you can't get to the east side. Yeah, again. It's late here, and I've been working.
No, it's fine. I'm just making sure.
No. It's totally fine. It's just, again, it's late.
I mean, to be fair, they could Kern jump.
That is possible.
To the east side. And they have glove, so they can get down from that section. JP getting his Moon Pearl, feeling great. Only 3 minutes after fylion, but fylyon's going to be heading down and doing basically everything that JP did. Only problem is JP does not have as much magic to play around with here on Laser Bridge, so he might end up losing a little bit more time trying to get these checks done.
Gets that laser skip.
And $20. Got it. All right. So now I think all he has left to do is find Super Bunny, where he'll get his magic refill. I don't think there was anything in there. And yeah, head to the Dark World. So I'm excited to see. That's the one of the things that there's a lot of things about cross keys. One of the most noticeable things about it is the potential to have to do Dark World traversal as a bunny to find a connector in the Dark World that takes you back to the Light World. So you could be going through the Dark World and find one section of Paradox Cave, let's say the top of it, and you have to go out the middle door, and it's back in the Light World, and then you go right back in, and then you can actually get the items. So fortunately for these guys, they don't have to worry about that at all. So honestly, kind of nice, but as we saw, that Cackwell being at Lumberjack, and it's still only 20 minutes in, there's still plenty of opportunity for this seed to be bad. I was fighting other words I wanted to say. So I went with the nice ones. Despite the fact that we know that going to the Dark World, probably a Village of Outcasts, is the better option right now, I like fylion going ahead and committing to these Light World checks, because the last thing you want to do is go to the Dark World and miss, Smith. That's super good information if that's required. Mm-hmm. Or, if Boots are just chilling at, Lake Hylia's shop, which they are not, but... Is he going for it?
Thought about it.
I think he was just inching forward to try and figure out what he's got going on there. Sees the key on Lake Hylia Island.
Yeah, that's the one thing about cross keys is that with the fact that you have to check entrances as well as items, you can very easily get suckered into one particular path, and then that leading you down a rabbit trail that, for an hour, you had a Sphere 1 check, let's say Eastern Palace, that you don't go to for an hour because you've been focusing on other things, and it had some sort of progression. And that's, a lot of times, you'll see runners focus on just trying to look at entrances and just trying to see where things are before they actually move on into it. We got an Agate Tower key in the Waterfall of Wishing that is at the Village of Outcasts Fortune Teller.
That's important. fylion setting up EG, no big deal. Interesting, we didn't actually see Spiral Cave. I don't think we saw that on JP's side. Or no. Maybe we did. I don't remember. No, he doesn't have a bottle, so no, he didn't. But yeah, JP taking one of those connectors to actually come out of the hammer peg cave to get to the Dark World as opposed to just going through the normal portal. But hanging out in Skull Woods.
Certainly seems like the play. And fylion, because Phylion's going to join him.
All right, well, now he knows how to get back to that section, and he needs this to be a connector that takes him... Well, hold on. Yeah, hopefully he can get to... Or no, he dropped down and went to Pinball Room. Yeah, yep. So now he's stuck in the back. So he has to save and quit out. Yeah, it's kind of the downside about just going straight for the drop downs, is you can get locked into the back section of Skull Woods and have to leave. So it's almost like getting locked in Pinball Room without a small key. But in Cross Keys or Entrance Shuffle, they put a key there anyway. But then you get locked in there anyway because it's Entrance Shuffle. Fylion doing a double back to make sure he got grabbed by that Wall Master.
Speaking of which, Fylion will pick up a key here.
I agree with this play. Because you never know when you're going to run into Skullwood's boss. And if you don't have a key to go beat the boss, then you have to come back to Skullwoods to grab one or hope that you found one along the way. Of course, we don't have a sword or a fire source, so that's not even a thing we got to worry about now. But, you know, saving up for the future. There's Pyramid Fairy. We got a Thieves Town Small. That's always nice. All right, time to find out what JP missed out on because of the way he routed Skullwoods. $20. Anything else? Nope. Just a compass.
Not much.
Not much. Nothing to get excited about here. So now, would you consider maybe doing the usual... Oh, what? There's the front of Super Buddy. That's funny. Of digging game and then grabbing the smith. Just go ahead and knock that out.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, you haven't found... We've kind of gone through most of the connectors. None of them have, you know, led to anywhere, you know, around the light world. Basically, at this point, you're still trying to find a way up to Death Mountain, and without the lamp, that one dark room technically is not in logic. So I kind of agree with that play. Like, go ahead and grab the smith, take him on a world tour since you don't have the mirror, and then go take the smith home once you get back to the light world.
That's kind of the nice thing about Entrance Shuffle is that there's no rules about you bringing the smith inside entrances. So even if you like go into a connector, he'll come with you. If you go into a dungeon, he'll come with you. So long as you don't like get a crystal or replace him with another follower, like in Thieves Town or you know, going to Pod. So you could actually bring him along with you quite a ways, but JP gonna opt to save and quit instantly and go turn him in.
Fylion, meanwhile, is trying to go through the dark room, falls down a hole twice, and gives up. Smiths today are forging powder. Wait, when did they become witches? And Fylion trades a B for a B.
Powder's kind of nice early because it's, you know, it's a nice safety to have. Of course, we determined that Magic Bat is going to be at Ganon, so it's not like we're going to be able to actually get the item from Powder for a while. So just going to hold on to that. JP now going to find Spiral Cave. So I like this move by JP. He's like, let me do a little of this. Let me do a little of that. So now he's leaving. He's going to miss out on his bottle. So I'm curious. Oh, yeah, he's going to go up here and see that it was Mimic Cave and then probably come back down. Because I think he popped out of Eastern and went south. Or no, maybe that was just Fylion. That's so hard to keep up.
That's what Entrance Shuffle does to you.
It's a lot easier to play than it is to watch and commentate.
And even still, it's hard to play.
All right. Well, here's the deal. We still haven't seen Big Bomb, Hype Cave, Swamp. We still haven't seen Curiosity Shop and Dark Sank or Bumper Entrance. So there's a few stuff we can check in the Dark World. I feel like the next thing we gotta be finding is either gonna be, I don't know, maybe stuff to do Tower of Hera, like maybe a big key. Or what are they found Swamp, but not the dam. They found Hera. They found Desert, so we could find the desert small or big, maybe. Or we're just looking for a lamp. I could definitely see if either of these players find a sword that they might start adventuring through those dark caves anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, honestly, I think the thing that would help them out the most is probably a connector to Death Mountain, because that would open up it wouldn't open up as much as it would if you had like the hook shot or the mirror, but at least it would give you more checks for more chances for items.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's kind of the importance of those dark caves, because we've seen so many of them that I have a feeling that... Nice shovel. One of them might have been the Old Man Rescue, the front entrance, which always leads to Death Mountain.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it always leads to West Death Mountain. I think it can lead to East Death Mountain, but I'm not 100% sure on that.
I think it's always west. I mean, granted, that's anecdotal. I've never seen it dump out.
Always leads to... Okay. Chat is confirming it always leads to West Death Mountain.
Yeah.
So, small key on Bumper Ledge. That's 2 overworldly small keys that we're going to have to come back for at some point. Somehow. You know what we haven't seen yet? We haven't seen like any of the big caves. No Blind's Hut, no Hype Cave, no Moldorm. Gotta be one of those coming up soon, right? Right?
Possibly.
Hopefully.
JP is going to check the entrance to Bumper Cave, while fylion checks the entrance to Hype Cave. And fylion wins in finding Meyer.
I don't know if that's a win, but it is good info.
I mean,
I
don't know. I was pulling
it's
something.
better than finding nothing, so.
And then also found Stevestown.
Okay, that I'd say is a win. That's 4 quick items. And then he can just either save and quit or death warp out. Map check first, just for clarity. Misses the chest, gets a heart piece. And we are going to see Curiosity Shop over on JP's side. This is the shop that normally sells you the Fire Shield and the Gold Bee. Maybe it's just a bean fights the hammer in K45. That's a good find.
Yeah, we'll also open up East Dark World by logic. No current jumps required.
Yeah, now it just needs to find that Thieves Town big and can full clear the entirety of this dungeon. And it can, also has a very convenient way to the Dark World now too, south of Link's house. So, and that's also like our first real weapon.
All right. Finally, I'm gonna take a death.
Not really too much here in the front of Thieves Town, it seemed like.
Nope.
Though map to Ice Palace is pretty helpful. And get some more dungeon info.
So JP has now found Meyer. Gonna head south, but you would imagine soon he's gonna head back north and would just see Thieves Town. Well, there's a big key.
Watch it be Thieves Town.
Witch!
Got him. All right, well. Now, here's the thing. Do you think fylion would go for that right away? No. Blind is in logic with Burna alone.
It is in logic.
You know he's going to be wanting to wait for that hammer, though. But you never know when you're going to get that hammer.
Right. The one thing that's saving him is that right now every way to Dark World dumps you out in the Village of Outcast area. So it's going to be a considerable walk to get back to the bomb shop to go into Thieves Town. So maybe for Phylion's sake, he decides, well, if I've got to make this walk to get back there, why don't I just, go do the north stuff before I make a long trek to go check a dungeon that I've already been into?
Yeah, that's true. Well, I feel like JP's going to do the same thing, though he might actually decide to go back in after getting his big key. We don't actually know what prize is here either. So even if you clear it, it could still end up being a non-required pen dungeon. It's possible as well. Shovel's gonna have... basically nothing.
I mean, you could check stun prize.
It's pretty useful. We do still need Zora money. So if it's like Big 12, Fylion doesn't, he needs $1. But yeah, that Curiosity Shop holding the hammer is kind of out of the way. It's not really that out of the way. Especially when you have a save and quit here at Cackwell and you have the mitts. But you have to commit to going all the way to the right side over there. And Phylion's going to go ahead and check this cave, which I think that gets you to the Dark World. I think that was the Hammer Pegs cave, maybe?
I think so.
All right. Time for JP to have a laugh. Will he go back in? There's what? 1, 2, 3, 4 checks left in Thieves Town?
Mm-hmm. Potentially 5 if Green Pendant is there.
Mm-hmm. I bet he's thinking to himself, please don't be Thieves Town. Oh, and finally it's going to go ahead and do Purple Chest at this point. And he's going back. Going back in. All right. I mean, I do the same, honestly.
Ice Palace is a crystal from the map that we saw earlier.
Getting a lot of crystal information. So you can bring your frog friend with you into entrances, but you can't bring your chest friend with you. But at this rate, it looks like Fylion is going to head over and get his hammer soon, which is good.
Meanwhile, JP does, in fact, take that big key back into Thieves Town. And with a Cane of Burna and a hammer, should be able to get done no problem. And Fylion is about to get some hammers.
Yeah, and he also has that blue mail, so he can take a little bit more of a beating. Curious to see what else we're going to find in here. Yeah, now we have access to the pyramid. We got Catfish, Dark World, Potion Shop we can go do. We can check the 4 entrances near Palace of Darkness. Dark Line of Trees. Dark Sahasrara, where the tree guy usually hides. Dark Flute 5 and Palace of Darkness. I'm just going down my spreadsheet like for all these names. Like these are just the names that I always use. My favorite is still Superb Bottom Left. That's my favorite. Which I'm pretty sure is just the bottom of Super Bunny. But yeah. Superb Bottom Right is just a shop normally in the vanilla game, but it makes sense to me, and that's all it is.
Hey, I do the same thing for Super Bunny Cave.
Ooh, there's a big key in Thieves. Ooh, Tower of Hair. All right, well. That's a big key he can utilize relatively quickly once he's done here.
Yep, we know where Hera is, and we have the means to kill Trolldorm.
That gives us, what, 3 more checks up there? Finally, gotta be careful. Pterodactyl. Buy a heart. Oh. He's probably going to save and quit at this point.
Yep.
All right. I'm curious to see. I feel like this lamp's got to be showing up here pretty soon. Could see that up at the top of the Tower of Hair, or could see it in the next 3 checks here in Sheaves Town to get us into those dark caves to get us up to Death Mountain. Small key. Oh my goodness! Wow.
There's the other Agate Tower key.
Well, that's just peachy.
I mean, there's 5 items behind those 2 keys.
Maybe the game wants them to go there a lot sooner than we were expecting. Now we just need to find the boots and a sword and actually find Agate Tower. Ooh, fylion, what do we got here?
Ooh.
Oh, okay. Both players finding keys, potentially important keys. Of course, the big key a lot more important. But that's we don't have a fire source to get that yet, but that's something that fyon's gonna be thinking about in the future. Alright, let's see some hammer burn of strats from my boy JP. A little early on that second swing.
And fylion, meanwhile, is now about to join JP in Thieves Town. JP pulling out that cane of burner for the final phase with the bullet hell and gets it done.
I can easily see both these players heading straight to Hera next. Oh,
whoa!
Fire Rod. All right. Well, that opens up one more entrance in the back of Skull Woods now, and that opens up some dark rooms, but only the ones in dungeons that we haven't found. So
yep.
Don't matter too much yet.
You know what it also does is that small key to Hera that fylion found now puts the coffee break chest in logic.
Oh yeah, that's a good call. JP meaning to use the hammer to hammer those pegs and didn't realize he still had burnout. We're gonna find out what's on the pyramid, and then yeah, he's gonna make a decision of whether he wants to go for the 4 checks over the pot area or the 2 checks up towards Catfish. So, I know it's not really much to work off of, but after 40 minutes, I'd say currently JP is at least leading in the crystal pool. Oh yeah, there was a crystal at Thieves Town, nice. There's a bug net on the pyramid. JP gonna go ahead and grab that just in case.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, unfortunately, fylion having to make a double dip into Thieves Town because he didn't get the hammer initially, but as we all know, it's still very early on, and leads are going to change. It's just a matter of truth.
A lot more will unfold as this race continues. Alright, we got a chance game at the Dark World Potion Shop.
All right, well, this is a pretty out-of-the-way play for JP, so if it ends up having something pretty important, this could benefit him quite a bit. Assuming fylion doesn't immediately go to that when he's done with this trip. What do we got?
We got a soggy book.
Ugh. Well, we can see what's on the pedestal. We can open up desert. That's about all we can do right now with those.
Mm-hmm.
Well, JP, what's it gonna be, bud? I'm anticipating a Tower of Hera play right away. We can find out what our prize here is at Hera. We're still looking for 3 pendants, as well as the remaining crystals.
We have knowledge of 4 of them. Well, actually 5. Yeah, we've got 5 of them at this point.
It's pretty good this early. It helps finding Big Bomb, like, pretty quick. And then, yeah, we found the 2 maps, I think. Yeah, Desert and Ice, and then, of course, getting the crystal here from Blind. Finally, I'm going for some good old classic. Hit that select button right as you're about to initiate the fight, and the game's like, hey, what are you doing? Let me change the colors for you. And here we are. I like how it leaves the door open, so You do have to be careful, though. They don't accidentally get sucked out the doorway. Jeez, fylion using that quick swap to switch to Berta, but almost costing him this.
Gets done.
Hold down. Hold down, it'll be funny. An ice run. No, I'm kidding. It did look like one, though. Alright. Big chest here in Hera. JP gonna go ahead and go upstairs and drop down instead of attempting to do the bomb jump, which I agree with. Without having a sword, it's a little risky.
And get some flippers.
Alright. We haven't seen any of the Zora stuff yet, or Capacity Fairy, Waterfall.
Nope.
We did find Swamp, so if we can find the dam, but we don't have the Swamp Small yet. We're hookshot, so it's not like anyone wants to go there anyway.
No, nope. But for JP, it's time to take a ride on the roller coaster. Three hammer swings. Just don't fall, and the troll is dead.
Goodbye, Moldorm. What do you got for us? Green rupee and green pendant. Okay, well. That's honestly kind of... Well, I don't know. It's good and bad. It would have been better to get a non-green pendant, because if you find Sahasrara, he'll tell you where the green pendant is. But at least, despite him giving you a green rupee, he's going to give you another item once you do find Sahasrara, so...
So that means between Eastern Pod, Swamp, and Mire, 2 of them are pendants and 2 of them are crystals.
That sounds about right. And I'm going to assume JP at this point is probably going to... Well, I'd assume he'd head over to Palace of Darkness area next. There's quite a few entrances in there we haven't seen yet. That's the thing, is he still doesn't have money for Zora. You'd think he'd probably use the flippers to go... He could go down to Dark Ice Rock Cave as well. Oh! Yep. It's looking like it.
fylion gets his soggy book. And yeah, I think Dark Shopping Mall is in JP's future.
Let's see if fylion also goes and does Tower of Hera, and we'll get to see that Hera basement. Which could be a game changer. If it has, like, you know, our first sword, or the boots, or literally anything that's required. That small key for Hera was on purple chest. JP probably gonna elect to not do that anytime soon. God, these freaking bombers are so obnoxious.
fylion gonna take his coffee break first before heading up.
Might as well. I mean, if you find hookshot, you can just Hera pot all the way up and save some time. But what are the odds of that?
Sick kid at Dark Ice Rod Cave handing out bombs today.
Ooh, go back in, get that money.
Yeah, he's getting that money.
Yeah, you know. Still needs money. He should farm enough to get both the pod entrance as well as to go do Zora. So, see him, he would go back in at least one more time. Maybe twice. Oh, no. I was going to say I'm good. Wow, that's unfortunate. Just a heart piece, and he's not going upstairs. I think probably because it'd be faster, just go ahead and... Oh, no, he's going to his house. Okay. I was thinking maybe it would have been faster to save and quick, go to Sanctuary, and just go through the main entrance and to backtrack. Because dealing with some of the switches is kind of annoying, but... did we even get anything up Tower of Hera? We got the flippers.
Yep. That was the only thing we got was the flippers and the big chest.
And that potentially useful green pendant. Oh, can't forget that green rupee. Very important. Ooh, JP's got to be a wee bit careful in here. down to 1.5 hearts, and those guys still do quite a bit of damage. But he is going to head into the Palace of Darkness area, check some of these caves, and deliver some dollars. Ooh, JP, please just use Berta. Okay, that's fine too. He dropped a bomb and ran into it. I'm so glad that didn't kill him, because I would have felt really bad. Hey! JP! Got the green... Oh, just $20. All right, well. Fylin's going to miss out on flippers, but that green pendant ended up not being required. We got a compass back here. We got 10 arrows. We got Harpy. Wow, a whole lot of nothing over here.
Nope.
Well, if anything, at least that's a peace of mind. It's one thing you don't have to worry about anymore. And you never know. Could still be pedestal stuff.
Yeah, flippers are kind of that thing right now that they might be important, especially if Swamp Palace is a crystal, but until we know that Swamp Palace is a crystal, we won't really know for certain.
Hammer hitbox. Oh, I don't think fylion meant to do that. Or no, he did. Maybe he did. This actually gets him straight to the back so he can check the fire rod section, so he knows what he's doing. It almost looked unintentional, but... Oh, we got the chicken hut over at Dark World Flute 5. Let's see what we got over here. While fylion discovers a fairy fountain.
And more bombs for JP.
A lot of these plays kind of coming up empty for these players. Based on that, I mean, unless we find something over in pod entrance, I believe these flippers might be our next line of progression.
Yep, JP still has to get extorted.
Is that what? Go to Zora or go to Kiki?
Yes.
Okay.
I meant Kiki in that instance, but your point is well taken.
Good answer. All right, what do we got here?
Another fairy.
Alright. I would assume JP now would probably head down to the Zora stuff. He's got Capacity Fairy, Ice Palace, because he can go through the portal and check that. Waterfall, Zora, and Zora's Ledge. That's 5 items and or checks that he could do. And, you know, haven't used those flippers yet, so now's a good time. Oh, and the man under the bridge. How could I forget? You know, he's so far away from the rest of the good stuff that it's really easy to pretend that he does not exist. Yeah, at this rate, feels like fylion is still kind of following in JP's lead. JP kind of just having a little bit of a lead. Some of these things that he skipped, like that Tower of Hera small key, not going to cost him yet, but of course, as we all know, he could eventually find that key and want to go back and check that. Ooh, fylion, gotta be okay.
Yeah, to your point, it's beneficial to him now, but the problem's going to be later on when he finds it, and if we're hunting for like an ice... Well, we're going to be hunting for an ice rod for Turtle Rock. You know, it's entirely possible that later on in the race, once you get to a bunch of one-off locations, you know, does JP has the advantage in not having done Coffee Break, but he may lose it if he's trying to look for an ice rod or something one-off like that. But we have got Paradox Cave. Unfortunately, the mirror-locked Paradox Cave.
No, I'm just waiting for Capacity Fairy to be like one of the other sections of Paradox. That'd be perfect. What do we got on the ledge? There's another bottle. Probably going to skip that. Don't need that. And yeah, fylion following closely behind JP. All right. I want to know where did fylion get all that money? Where did he find that? He didn't have to do any farming for that.
I think he found like a 300 earlier that JP didn't find.
And
1% return on investment.
That's unfortunate. Fortunately, aside from chess game where you need 30 rupees, I think he's done all the rupee required spots. Yeah, pod done, digging game done, Smith done, Zora done. So he's fine. It's fine. Just needs 19 more rupees, then he can do a chess game.
And there's Agatower.
So
Weird.
there is 2 items in here. Of course, one of them is not in logic without that lamp, but I'm sure both these players are fairly comfortable with doing at least the first couple rooms, and they do have that fire rod. There is torches in the long maze room that has the chest. So where the heck is this lamp?
And 53 minutes in, and we've got our first pod key.
Wow.
So
Well, I think I just go ahead and keep going. Honestly.
I would totally agree with you.
You got both the keys. You don't even know if you have to do it yet, and they can't even like actually get any benefit from it because they've already been to the pyramid. They already know it's there. But it's concerning. The magic difference is a little concerning. So JP needs to make sure he can actually light that torch in that one room. I don't know. I honestly wouldn't do this right now. If I was JP. fylion seems to have it under control.
Yeah, I personally would probably just go ahead and do it now. I mean, we're kind of low on locations to do, and yes, technically this isn't in logic because you don't have the lamp, but you have the 2 keys. There's 5 items at the well. It might there's nothing wrong with saying whether you would skip it now or not. I personally would just go for it since you're here.
Yeah, I think if JP had a little bit more magic, he might have considered keeping going. But that one dark room with the pitfalls, if you miss the torch and can't light it, it's kind of tricky. But finally, I'm gonna go ahead and take advantage of this. He also hasn't been to the pod area, so this is kind of convenient for him.
And Ice Palace
there it is.
Gets us to the top of Paradox Cave. So we have a little game we like to play when we get to Aga 1, which is how many blue balls do you think the Nasty Wizard is going to throw at our runners today? Willard, do you have a guess?
At least 1. I'm being nice. It's Koski's, man.
Nice is fine.
I'm being nice. These guys are my friends. I want them to... Killing Aga's not interesting. Let's get to the actual interesting stuff. Let's get this over with.
Well, there's 1. So as always, there's the required 1. Then there's 3 randoms, which is a second blue ball right now. And then 5th one will be a bolt to lightning, and we'll spin again, and 3 blue balls already to start. Paradox Cave having nothing. Just a bunch of trash.
Did get a map to swamp, so that is information. And now JP is going to be able to bomb jump here to go out this exit. And who knows, maybe that could get us up to Death Mountain. Or somewhere else in the Dark World like Meyer.
Oh,
okay, well, that's 2 checks, but who knows? If he finds the mirror while he's up here. Actually, no, it's 1 check, because he came out of one of the caves.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting, though. So then what is the answer at this point? What do we have left? Still can't do anything in Meyer.
Swamp is a crystal.
So it's gonna come down. The last 2 pendants are either Eastern Pod or Meyer. Dude, if it's Eastern Pod, we could have a bowl of seed. Ooh, Hookshot Cave. All right. The journey continues.
The journey does in fact continue.
I think this also works out well because fylion hasn't even been to the pyramid, so this worked out really well for him routing wise. Or no, he did, because he went up to Catfish. What am I talking about?
Mm-hmm.
It just kind of looked like he was moving towards getting that item. But...
And there is our Death Mountain access. At least partially. And there's also our Ice Palace.
And, ugh. That's a tough call, man. Nice spooky. You have the fire rod, you have the hammer and glove. You could do it, but no small key, no big key, and no Samaria icebreaker.
You're also gonna orphan an item since you don't have the big key.
I would almost maybe just grab the first chest and then go check the other entrances and see if you can find something to make this better. But that's just me.
See, for me, it's much more simple. Trying to do 8-heart blue mail Ice Palace without much equipment, I personally would just be like, I'm too weak for this. I out.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, if you could look at what you're working with and be like, nope, I can't do it. I don't got this. Let me go do something else. Like, just being able to sit there and recognize that instead of, like, throwing your face into death and despair is it's a good tool. What was that? Pod small?
Yep. That's a second one.
It's 2 now. Well, it looks like JP is going to go ahead and do this. I mean, here's the thing. It is a crystal. He can beat it, but, like... Yeah. He did grab that fairy, so he doesn't have to worry too much about dying against Cold Stare. I mean, kudos to him. It's going to be a slow full clear, though. And we can't even full clear it because no big key, but... Fylion about to pay $100, $110 to see another cool fairy, which is pretty exciting. And then the question is, when is he going to go back to Ice Palace? That entrance. Yeah, and the worst thing is not even having a small key means you have to go either the cross spike room in this next room up here. You either just go straight north and drop down and go do right side, or you go freezor and bomb jump across and do right side. Not the most convenient routing. Yo, get those bombs. Yeah, nice.
Yeah, you're gonna be doing a lot of bomb jumping in this dungeon when you don't got hook shot or keys.
Yeah. Let's hope JP practiced them bomb jumps.
Practice? We're talking about practice?
He was practicing diver down and icebreaker before the race, so I can only assume. How you gonna get better if you don't practice?
Well...
Wow, vanilla. Oh.
More French vanilla. More
Yeah.
French vanilla key, but...
Dude, that... We take those, that's great. Ooh, are we seeing... Never mind.
No.
Fylion was gonna go... Oh, is he farming rupees for Zora? Is that what this play is? It's kind of unfortunate with the thief right there too.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he was gonna go check pedestal. He might still do that. Oh, Spike Cave. Oh, yeah, I forgot that was over here.
So...
Oh, wow. JP finding a bow.
Archer class achieved for JP.
It's a good find once he eventually finds Palace of Darkness. Especially with that hammer, he can salvage those pod smalls going right side, being able to save time doing that. And, you know, pod could be one of our remaining crystal dungeons that we don't know about.
I gotta say, this was a risky play, but I think it's, you know, Ice Palace big chest pending. I think is gonna be a good play for JP.
Yeah, but like you say, all it takes is one skipped check to completely change the game. So if that big chest ends up having anything of importance, And fylion does Ice Palace when he has the big key. Could be a game changer.
And we get Bombos.
The classic Fire Rod leads to Bombos. Actually, I haven't seen that in a while, so I guess it's kind of refreshing. That's important. Well, it's important for JP in this fight. It's going to allow him to have more Fire Rod shots to use on Cold Stare. It also might be required for getting into Mire or T-Rock.
Especially when you've only got Fighter Sword right now. And Hammer, so... Cold Stare is going to be a little bit more difficult than usual. Phylion's still farming.
Yeah, he's unfortunately losing time, especially because we know that it's only a 5-piece from Cold Stare. Oh my gosh. Imagine if Cold Stare popped out his Zora spot. Hey, I'll take your money.
Now that would be a insane level of Randomizer. Hey, instead of
dream.
All right, Bombos to get Cold Stare out of his cage, put him in a corner, shoot him with some Fire Rod shots, and now you're gonna have to pull out your hammer or do Fighter Sword spins.
Yeah. Fortunately, none of those Fire Rod shots actually getting off the splash damage. He does still have that Fairy in a bottle, so he can take a death here. And unfortunately, a Cold Stare Hug will do that, but he takes down one of the puffs. 2 more to go.
Oh, there is the Fairy consumption.
Hitbox was a little questionable, I'd say. Phylion's going to find Paradox Cave here soon and find his swamp map. Yay. Alright, that's 2 down.
And there's 3.
Good. I don't want to see no Cold Stare deaths without a Fairy. And we get a big key.
To pod.
Wow, this Ice Palace really wants these players to find and go to pod. And, well, what do you know? We got a bunch of entrances still left unchecked over here on JP's side. I'm just waiting for pod to be one of the pendant dungeons. That'd be hilarious.
And there's mini Trolldorm Cave. So 5 items here. Once you get rid of the 4 mini trolls.
Yep.
All right, so what do we got here? We got $50, a map, it's a Turtle Rock. We know that's a crystal. $20, a toot, and a heart.
Well, that gets us to Mire. We haven't been to the Mire area yet. We might even, that Bombos might even come to play a lot sooner than we thought. Of course, that sword we got was severely out of logic, so maybe we're still going to find a lamp up here soon. Not there. That's a whole lot of nothing. And maybe here. In the chess game, $20. That ain't it. One more entrance here on East Death Mountain, and then the question is... what next? Probably Mire.
How about Hyrule Castle?
That'll do. We haven't seen any of this except for the back 3. And is JP immediately going to go check one of these entrances instead? That's a risky play. Oh, T-Rock connector right. Yeah, I would not have, especially because of how you had to get over to East Death Mountain. I would not have left right away because if it just like kicked him out at, you know, at like Turtle Rock or, you know, one of the connectors that, or one of the entrances that they couldn't immediately get back into, he'd be like, oh man.
Fylion not dipping into Ice Palace. Gonna check the other connectors first. JP, meanwhile, taking that Fire Rod and gonna go check Dark Cross.
Now, the only downside about this, he's got a lot of hearts, so death warping out of here is going to be kind of slow. Fortunately, he did spend that fairy on Cold Stare, so doesn't have to worry about having to waste that. And just some bombs.
More bombs for his death warp.
Oh, you know what? I take it back. This is actually perfect. Because Hyrule Castle's in the Dark World, all the ropes and rats and bats are their Dark World version. So all of them do a lot more damage, especially with Blue Mail. So
Nicely
that worked out
done.
very well. Now, why is he not just going to Zelda's cell? JP, please. If this kicks you out, when are you going to go back? I mean, you did get the flute, so you can also go to West Death Mountain and pop back to the Dark World and go through Spike Cave to get back over here. But what if...
What if you end up on the castle tower?
Well, that's almost vanilla, but good information.
There's the arrow game.
There you go, fylion. Actually, no, he just got a 300, so... Interesting. Well... I'm sure he's going to be hoping he finds a mirror, so he doesn't ever have to go through all of this if he wants to get back to checking the entrance to Aga Tower.
Yeah, because technically he's back to Light World damage since he went through that connector to the tower.
Right. Wow, nice synchronization here.
And Fisher Price shield to start in the escape. And we got red shirts.
Ugh. That's even worse. That sucks.
Yeah, those death warps are going to be even harder now.
Yeah. Well, at least for JP. Well, I don't think the guards are going to have different damage tables being in the Dark World at all. So, well, maybe. Actually, I don't know. What if they get swapped with their Dark World variation? The ones with the horns.
Well, JP's not even worrying with death warping. Because...
Whoa, why would you... Oh, JP, no! Why would you save and quit, bud? You could just mirror out, and then you could immediately go check Mimic Entrance in Spiral Cave. Like, those are quicks.
The irony here is Phylion's one heart away from the death warp, and then he's about to find out what's in that chest.
I'm concerned about that save and quit on JP's side. I'm curious to see if fylion does go through. Well, he's obviously going to, because he didn't check that yet. So he's going to find that T-Rock connector. He's going to mirror and find out what's in Mimic Cave. And, you know, we're still looking for stuff like Blindsight.
Mm-hmm.
Some of these bigger ones, so it'll be interesting to see how that changes. But JP still... at least with a crystal lead, and has that bow and pod big key. But now the question is, where are you going to go? You have the mire area you can check, and now you can mirror and check Desert Ledge and stuff like that. Ooh, Fyon's got to be a little... Oh, almost made it. He died in the little rope hallway, the little U-shaped one?
Mm-hmm.
That staircase on the left is always kind of tricky to get into.
Yep. Oh. Now, the one thing I will say that works in JP's favor, though, is that because you've got flute and hammer and mirror, you are able to get back easier, because you'll check West Death Mountain, and then you'll be able to get up to the top, check the entrances there, and then you can just drop right back down.
Well, not from... I mean, yeah, you could drop down to East Death... There's the fact that he's going to have to remember to go do all that, but... With the mirror now, he could wait, get the Master Sword or Cape, and then when he's checking Aga Tower, remember to do that. I'm just concerned because that's a kind of a convoluted way to get to that one spot. I could easily see him forgetting about it, so...
True.
But at the same time, we're not going to see it anytime soon because we're going to see a little bit of Ice Palace over on Phylion's side.
Meanwhile, JP heading over to the Mire/Desert area gets a map for Thieves Town, which we already know is a crystal, so not going to help us all that much.
What the heck is this lamp?
I don't know, but honestly, at this point, it's not really blocking any of our progression as far as we know at this point.
Yeah, that's a good point. Now that we found a way to get up to West Death Mountain, we're not really too concerned about saving the old man, and that might also... that might be the old man rescue. All right, Quake Medallion. Going to be required to get into the mire entrance. We don't know what's there. Could be nothing. Could be another shop or a fairy fountain.
Meanwhile, the other mire shed is C-shaped for a piece of heart.
Yeah, Fylion's going to pick up his... what was in here? Bombos and Podbig. I think those are the big things.
There was also another pod... There was another small key I think we saw.
He'll get his bow. Yeah, the pod key was in the first chest. I remember that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, there was the Ice Pal small key that helped out. Dark World Ice Rock... Or, that's not... I think that's the other side of Ice Rock Cave.
Yeah, that's fake Ice Rod Cave. Normally you'd bomb that open. Inside there's like a little fairy statue that you can bonk into to get a gold bee to spawn. So what JP doesn't know is there's a really cool mirror thing you can do here. If you stand basically at the top of where the mire entrance is, like on the other side, outside of where you cast the medallion, you can actually mirror at the top there and still get inside the desert entrance without having to walk all the way around, which is kind of nice. I don't think we saw either side of Spec Cave yet, so...
Nope.
This might be new information. I think JP did see... I think that was Bumper... one of the Bumper... the bottom of Bumper Cave over in either Checkerboard or Dark.
Ooh, very nice.
Important?
Small
debatable?
key might be useful.
Now, this having the mirror for this is very convenient. Except when it's not.
Hey, peace of mind gets it out of the way.
Yep, it's one thing he can mark off his list. Fylion grabbing his bow, and he's going to continue on into Ice Palace while JP finally show us West Death Mountain. We'll probably even find the other side of the Old Man Rescue Cave, thus making the other side completely obsolete. So, what dungeons are we still looking for? We haven't seen Skullwood's boss, where Mothula is. We haven't seen GT. We haven't seen Pod or Eastern. I think that's it. That sounds right. And, portions of T-Rock.
Yeah, we've seen portions of T-Rock, but we haven't seen the whole kit and caboodle.
Yeah, we just saw Laser Bridge. I think that was it. That was at south of Kakariko. Many shops. There's the dam. Okay. So now, yeah.
Which has the cape. Ooh, Fylion missed the bomb jump. So now I have to go the long way to get to Ice Tea Room.
Which had Bombos. So if he skips it, he's going to be skipping Bombos. But he's not going to skip it. Which is a good play. We don't know if it's required yet, but he probably would still want it, even for the Cold Stare fight. There's Ice Rod Cave. Check.
With a map to Hera. We know it's Green Pendant.
Yep. So neither player have been back to Mimic Cave, if I recall correctly. That's still up in the air. I think that's one of the only caves that we've seen but haven't gotten the item out of. That we can get the item out of. We did find Hookshot Cave, but no Hookshot yet. There's a lad with a hint. Don't care about you. I'm gonna check Spectrop and then probably go around, head up to Tower of Hera and top of East Death Mountain. There's Graveyard Ledge.
TR's helpful.
Yeah. The thing is with T-Rock, because of its nature in entrance shuffle or like an inverted, you end up going backwards through Turtle Rock a lot of the time and can skip a lot of these small keys. But having more is nice because then you can feel comfortable checking like Lava Chest, stuff like that. It's kind of awful ones.
And fylion heading into his cold stare fight.
I believe he did he? I don't know if he grabbed Fairy or not. We'll see.
No, I don't think he did.
Bit of a rough start on his side. Fortunately, though, unlike JP, he does have red mail, so he can take a bit more of a beating in this fight. But he missed a couple of his fire out shots. Gets one of the puffs down. Just got to take down the other two. Down to 2.5 hearts.
He's got red mail, though. And there's the old man cave at Hera. Oop! Half a heart!
Oh, jeez. Please
Got
be
it.
careful.
There we go.
Okay, good. I know Phylion's currently my enemy because my teammate is racing, but I hate seeing races that are determined by dying to bosses like that, so I'm so happy that he got through that.
Yep.
I'm nervous. Alright, so JP's side of things, he's gonna find out what's locked by a lamp as the old man turns and runs. Oh, nope, just good. That's why you still want to like go ahead and turn him in on the left side so he doesn't waste time doing that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm curious to see if Phylion's gonna, once he's done here, if he heads back into Hyrule Castle, because I don't think he saw the left or right exits, so we will probably see that Mimic Cave check from... Oh, wait. We didn't see this, did we?
We got Eastern. Yeah, fylion went to Dark Death Mountain, and JP has not done Dark Death Mountain yet, so yeah. Hey, Eastern.
Well, no big key, but... You know...
fylion? That's not exactly how it works, bro.
You know he was taking notes, not paying attention. Absolutely. Oh, Master Sword.
Nice.
Now he can get the maximum heart refill on Ether Tablet. Hey, that man has many beds. All right, what's on Floating Island? Oh,
Quake.
That's the one that opens up Misery Mire. That's interesting.
Mapped pod inside Eastern. So, if you want to get into TR, you need Ether.
Gotta have Ether. So that Bombos, not really... I mean, it was very helpful for Cold Stare, but that's about it.
And there's the back of Skullwoods.
So that's going to be... Oh, that's going to be unfortunate for JP, because remember, he dropped into the pinball room. Oh, wow, finally I'm finding the boots here in Eastern. That's a big change. Change the guard. That's a nice find a thing. Nice find a thing. Wow, good words, Will. As I was saying, JP fell into the pinball room, so he didn't snag that small key in Skull Woods. He doesn't realize that yet, but he's about to look real foolish right about now. So he'll have to come back for that. And
there's Pod!
Okay. So big key, 2 small keys. If you use your keys right, you can check everything except for what? Vanilla big key chest, Harmless Hellway, and killing the boss.
Yep.
And is that... Dude, if that was a Skull Woods, I would have laughed.
But it's the Desert Small.
And finally, finding a third pod small. here in Eastern.
And Pod is a crystal, so that means Eastern and Meyer are your other pendants.
All right, we got that dungeon info. Well, we do.
We do, they don't.
So these boots are going to play a pretty significant part depending on how long it takes JP to hop down and check Eastern. He's got nothing else going on up atop of Death Mountain unless Pod gives him an item that sends him elsewhere. So I could see him dropping down to check those too. And who knows, he might find Eastern Big while he's in here, or find that lamp finally.
I mean, honestly, like, considering what we need right now, I don't know if there is an item, like, even if you were to find, like, Hook Shot, is probably, like, the biggest thing right now. Like, I don't know if that would be so important that would deter. Hey! Swap small key. We kind of need that.
Yeah, hopefully we find a hook shot before we go there. We also found another GT small as well, so more goods. Not sure what JP's plan is here. I think he was wanting to throw a bomb. Honestly, if I was him, I would just go walk around so you can actually get that arena chest.
Mm-hmm.
But oh well. We'll see what else he finds. I'm gonna assume he's gonna skip the Harmless Hellway to do the bomb jump, and then mirror out to then maybe go through the front door and check that. But yeah, routing Pod is kind of a pain when you only come in here with 2 small keys. Skull?
Turtle.
I'm just hoping he finds a Skullwoods key so we can go beat that. Because I would assume, well, Fireman's not gonna need that. Because he did snag one. It'd be funny. It'd be funny if he finds. There's a lot of small keys here in this Palace of Darkness too.
Just not the one you're looking for. How about that
vanilla.
One? It's vanilla.
Oh, this is new on Phylion's side, and it's just a fortune teller here at Agate Tower. But that's got to be a hot spot that I know JP is going to be thinking about later. All right, I'm sorry, I completely was paying attention to Pod. Did Fylion actually mirror and check the Mimic Spiral? He did.
Yeah, he did check Mimic. It was just a shop.
Just a shop. Okay. Man, JP keeps on lucking out with these skips that he's doing, not hurting him. All right, a lot of pauses. Let's see if it was good enough. Good enough to get the hammer up. Get a heart container, bringing him up to a nice, comfy 10 hearts. I mean, here's the thing, though. With that extra pod small, would you just go ahead and beat Helma? I don't know. It's a tough call. It's a real tough call.
I think I would.
And just hope that those 2 checks are nothing.
Yeah, I think you go. I think if I were in JP's shoes, I would go for the boss. Because I'd rather have the crystal.
JP found a sword, sorry.
I'd rather have the crystal in case I don't need to come back or look for more keys. But Phylion's going to give us the 5 items of Agate Tower. Was this Agate Tower necessary that Fylion did? That JP dipped out? So far, nothing. Good. $5.
No.
$20.
Oh no!
Yep!
Oh gosh. Well, you know JP's gonna be thinking about that, but it's really gonna come down to if he ever finds the lamp. Because if he just beats the game, never finds the lamp, he's never gonna feel inclined to go do that.
Nope.
Wow. Well, that's cross keys right there. Cross keys right there.
Hey.
If there is any way to define cross keys, it's not required Agate Tower for not required Catcoil at Lumberjack.
Sometimes Aga gives you absolute garbage, and sometimes gives you the big key to the last crystal dungeon, like it did in my teammate's race just a few hours ago. Like, it's just the way the rando bounces.
Well, to be fair, they did find a sword up there, so Agate Tower was good. Just not Aga. Alright, JP, gonna go ahead and check these 2 Did he check the arena chest first? Or did he skip that again?
Oh!
Hookshot! Okay. He's got the swamp smell. He's got everything he needs to go do swamp now, right? Did he find the dam? Was that him that found it?
Might have been fylion. Also, wait a minute, hold on. Hold on a minute. Let's see here.
Wait for it.
1, 2.
Wait.
Did he get a fourth one? Did he get a fourth key? Because I'm trying to figure out here. So
no, he's gone around the bow side twice now, or this is his third time going around there. He had 2. He used 1 to open up the vanilla big key chest. And now he's gonna go around, hopefully check the arena chest, and then maybe go beat Helma. So he's only gonna end up skipping out on the harmless hellway. Yeah. Pod, it's great.
yeah, that's pod for you.
Okay, so fylion. He's got the boots. Those are huge.
Those are in Eastern. JP might drop down and do Eastern after pod. And maybe find those boots.
I feel like, based on the way Phylion's routing, he'll finish all this and probably meet JP over on East Death Mountain. Do pod. He'll be able to do Skull Woods while he's there. And yeah, JP is going to skip Harmless Hellway to go ahead and go kill Helma. And I think that's a great play. Like, that's what I would do.
Yeah, I kind of agree.
I'd either skip Harmless Hellway or I'd skip Vanilla Big Key. But I feel like Vanilla Big Key check comes into the logic for keys versus earlier than Harmless Hellway. But it's really just a coin flip at the same time.
Let me look. Because for some things, I've actually read the PHP code of the randomizer. And
so JP did do that. So JP can do all of Swamp Palace now. Okay.
I think... See, I have it written down, but the thing is, Vanilla Big Key is missing from the notes I have. So I know Shooter Room and Bowlock Side are 0 keys. Arena Bridge and Stalfos Basement are 1. Compass Chest, Harmless Hellway, Dark Basement are 4, and then 6 gets you everything. So I would be inclined to say Vanilla Big Key, I think, is in the 4 category, but I don't have the code in front of me, so I wouldn't know for certain.
Cool. That sounds about right.
Incoherent saying it's 6. Which that would then fall in why I have it as everything for 6. Also, hey, Helmasar.
Yeah, JP made it. I was a little worried because usually when you go into the turtle rooms, like, personally, I always just go for Fire Rod, like, just Fire Rod the torch first. But he was doing, like, the NMG hammer spin to try and knock out some turtles. He killed 2 of them. But, because his magic was pretty low. He only had, like, 2 Fire Rod shots, I think, maybe 3. But yeah, we did see the dam over on West Death Mountain, so JP did get that. He can go do Swamp. I'm going to be following closely behind with these Dark World checks. Small key, Skull Woods.
Another. For all of the small keys in this dungeon, not a single one was for Skull Woods.
Alright, so if Fylion can find something useful on Mothula, and I mean, we know it's a crystal, so he needs it regardless, but it's like JP is going to drop down here, and we'll definitely get his boots. He'll get another pod small and say, come on. And now the question is for him, as soon as he gets these boots, he's going to be thinking about Agate Tower.
Will he do it? That will be the question. Yeah. And now here's Phylion's dip into pod. Sees it and leaves. Now, Phylion's already been into Eastern, and since Fylion didn't burn a key in the front of Skullwoods, we can pretty safely assume he'll be going to Mothula once he gets his chest.
Yeah, the question is Fylion going to route the same way that JP did? He will have maybe more he'll have one more pod key than JP going in there, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, because there was a vanilla one in there, so he'll have the full 4. So he'll be able to route it a little bit more efficiently. Maybe. He'll also have the boots, so he can like bonk to the arena chest instead of having to walk around.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's interesting that both players have basically isolated that T-Rock or the a little close. The Mimic Cave, the Spiral Cave entrances, right? Or no, JP did. fylyon's already done it, right?
Yeah, the Spiral Cave entrance is how we got to the east side of Death Mountain anyway. And then Mimic Cave is just
okay. Got it. So the only thing we are missing out on is the Light World Laser Bridge exit.
Mm-hmm.
Which
could...
JP could have mirrored and dropped down, checked that, then gone through the portal to actually go check these two, so...
Very quick Mothula fight for fylion, gets another small key to GT,
okay,
and the 5/6 crystal.
We still haven't seen Ganon's Tower yet, but fylion grabbing a crystal that he definitely needs, so... JP, once he has his pod crystal marked, they'll both be tied up, and now fylyon's got a long trek through the Palace of Darkness.
One thing we've been neglecting to do, is because we're an hour and a half into this race, is that we have not taken a moment to say that if you have been enjoying this fylion putting on for us, which, I mean, why wouldn't you? This has been kind of entertaining. Please be sure to get both of them follows on Twitch for the entertainment they are giving us tonight.
Alright, so, boots in hand, we've got... I think we did see Bonk Rocks and King's Tomb on fylyon's side. I don't think we've seen either the Bonk Rocks next to Link's house in the Light World and in the Dark World. So those are definitely possible new checks. There's still a couple more. We still haven't seen Blind Set. We're still looking for Blind Set. Did we ever see Checkerboard? Did we see that one?
Yeah, that was where the big key to Thieves Town was.
Okay, cool. We saw, what was that, Spectacle Cave. We did Spiral. We did Waterfall. Spike Cave's done. Super Bunny's done. We still haven't gone back to Mimic. I don't think we've seen... Oh, JP could take that hookshot over to Hookshot Cave now.
Yep. I don't think we've seen... I mean, we've seen Graveyard Ledge itself, but we haven't seen the entrance, the Graveyard Ledge entrance. I don't think we've seen South Grove Cave. So we've got those two. And then... Other than that, Mire and Pod entrances. Granted, you kind of need the entrance to get the Quake Medallion.
Where was Hookshot Cave again? Was that Dark Death Mountain? West Death Mountain?
I honestly forgot. Hey!
Pretty sure that was one of our connectors.
JP's doing Swamp.
So we need Cane of Samaria. We need the Ice Rod. We need to find... Did we find all the dungeons? Except for GT? Did we find all the dungeons we definitely need to do?
I think so. We found a way into all of them. We haven't found all the TR entrances. It's just Mire and GT we haven't found yet.
So, we need the Desert Big, Samarian Ice Rod. That's it. I'm pretty sure that's it. That's all we need to finish the seed.
Pretty much.
Wow. It's really not that bad.
You say that now, but...
Oh, and T-Rock Big, right.
Still have to find them.
Yeah, so 2 big keys and 2 items. Assuming we don't need other items to get those items. Wait. Oh, right. Because there was a sword in Dark Maze. I was like, JP already has that tempered sword. Because there was one... Yeah, he got his tempered was an Eastern. Got it. Man, I bet JP's frustrated. He spent all this time before the race learning, practicing diver down and icebreaker, and then Samaria is going to be probably like the last item he finds. So of course you can do diver down with bombs, but he did not take the time to practice that.
Meanwhile, he is going to go ahead and do a full clear of Swamp Palace, going for left side.
Might as well. Yeah. So fylion using one of his spare small keys to just go ahead and open the front. He's going to save a lot of time not having to go around the bow section multiple times. He's going to get his hook shot right away. Thing you see, he will actually, I guess he would still get that vanilla key and be able to check one of the two one-offs, right?
Yeah.
But which one will it be? And will it be different from the one that JP did?
Well, if it'll be different, it'll be Harmless Hellway.
Mm-hmm. All things considered, the seed really hasn't been too bad, knock on wood.
I mean, the way to get to Death Mountain was a little janky, but all in all, hasn't been too brutal of a cross-key seed, but that doesn't mean that seed's done trolling. Oh, hey, he's going to check Harmless Hallway.
Wow, left side swamp having 2 heart pieces.
And
just 10 arrows. Okay, so neither players are going to get destroyed by skipping the other. Because those are skips that you're like, I'm never going back for that. It's dead to me.
Yeah. However, it could very well still be on their minds as they're, if we get to that position of one away from go mode, still trying to find Ice Rod. Oh, hey, here's Silvers.
Nice. Well, that'll certainly make the Ganon fight, as well as some of the remaining boss fights, a little bit easier. fylion about to get his tempered sword, and then I guess he'll be off on his merry way. We might see some more Death Mountain action over on his side still, but I would assume that he's probably going to go follow JP and head to Swamp. Just head to that next dungeon. Having a little bit of trouble trying to find this sword chest. This room, the Dark Maze can be a little confusing. Looks like you got it. Oh, what? Hey!
There's that skull and small key he's been wanting.
There you go. I heard you've been looking for that, JP. What? No, dude, what if that was the other one? That'd be great. I would have laughed.
All right, Light World safety door is the Vanilla Fairy.
All right, where are you going, fylion? Checking the damn item. It's a damn compass. And west.
And Argus time for JP.
Oh.
fylion gonna do more of Turtle Rock.
I forgot we'd found this side of this. So he does have all 4 T-Rock keys, so there's got to be something on his mind that Lava Chest or Chain Chomps, which I don't think we've seen either of.
Yeah, without the Cane of Samaria, the only 3 things we can check... Well, we don't even have the big key, so the only 2 things we can check are Lava Chest and Chain Chomps.
Right, JP grabs another crystal. Our 2 players are both tied in crystal counts at this very moment. Just different crystals. Just a big 20 in the Lava Chest. Question is, where is JP gonna go next? Is this a pedestal check, or is this a trip through? There's a connector in here, I think. He might be going for that.
Yep, he's going for the connector.
Ah, Spike Cave. Right.
Yeah, Phylion's done this, JP hasn't.
Alright, what's in Chain Chomps? Just a heart piece. So yeah, we need to... I think we need to go to Hookshot Cave next. Since
Yeah.
Swamp didn't really amount to anything other than Skullwood's Key. The question is, where was that? I want to say it was... I'm pretty sure it was Hookshot Cave that got us to that East Death Mountain side of things. Because you took Paradox Cave from Capacity Fairy, or from Ice Palace, and that took you to Dark Flute 1, or Dark West Death Mountain. Then you went through Spike Cave, which happened, I think that was Hookshot Cave, to get all the way through over to Spiral Cave entrance. Gosh.
I think that makes sense now. Alright, so early on, because of that burnt key, JP missed 2 items on the right side.
Yeah, it was more, I think he dropped down into a hole initially, which happened to be Pinball Room, which locked him into the back. So he dropped down a hole instead of going through this entrance. Yeah, I don't think there was anything in here that was at all noteworthy.
I don't think so.
That doesn't look very noteworthy. But this is good for fylion, because now it's going to allow him to catch up a little bit. And we also... Oh, yeah, we haven't seen this side of Bumper Cave either. But like, how many connectors are we still looking for? How many sections have we not been to yet? Where would this lead that would be useful?
How about that?
Oh, that's pretty useful. That's
Yeah.
convenient, because now you could just immediately go back and open up the Mystery Mire entrance. Or just flute over.
Certainly useful. And here's Hookshot Cave check for fylion.
Yeah, this is some good plays over on fylion's side. Let's see if they continue to pay off.
Piece of heart. Small key to Skullwoods.
It's right there.
Another small
one.
key to Mire.
Lame.
And a compass.
So nothing much. So, boy, I gotta say, there's gotta be maybe GT's chilling over in the Mire entrance.
Well, we're heading back. I mean, at this point, like I said, I think we're down to Graveyard. In terms of entrances, I think we're down to Graveyard Ledge, K45, and Mire TR and GT. I think that's really all we got left.
Yeah, that sounds about right. We are going to see a pedestal check.
What do we got?
It's maximum health. It's dead.
Pet is dead.
So, and what's in Mire? It is Blind's Hut. Very good opportunity to sway this race. Because that's the thing, is that's a really tough check for JP to remember to go back to Bumper Ledge to get up there. We got a big key to Eastern. That's a pendant dungeon. Might not be required. Single arrow. Oh, come on. we need one of these checks to go Phylion's way. And a heart piece. Okay, well, pedestal's dead, but that does open up 2 more items for fylion. While JP's looking at his notes, realizing, hey, I can do this a lot faster if I just go up here instead.
Mm-hmm.
So he's heading to Hookshot Cave, which we know is nothing. So what's it coming down to? What do we got left?
Well, we haven't...
Aside from those caves that you were talking about earlier.
Well, Ice Rod, Cane of Samaria, Lamp, technically, TR Big Key, Desert Big Key. Those are the 4 items we're needing. And we got 27 waiting in GT. I mean, honestly, I don't think GT can. I'd almost be shocked if GT's vanilla, because with how much stuff we're missing and 4 items required for getting to to even open up the GT entrance. I don't see how GT's vanilla. I would guess at this point I would almost say either like Ether has to be in Eastern that TR leads to GT, or one of those two caves that we haven't seen yet is where GT's at.
Mm-hmm.
But who knows? We also have not seen this right side of desert.
Nope. Oh, another small key into Meyer, which is not very exciting. We're looking, of course, for Samaria, or Ice Rod, or T-Rock Big. Those are the big ones. Gold Sword.
Speaking of Meyer, though, both runners have seen it. Neither runner has gone in.
Oh, yeah. No big key for it, but you can check everything else in there minus the big chest and Vitreous. And I think that might be... I feel like Meyer was in this vicinity, so that might be Phylion's next play. Though, he still has Swamp Palace, right?
Yeah, he still has Swamp Palace. I think Hype Cave is where Meyer is.
This might be a Bombos check.
Yeah, that looks like a Bombos check.
Oh, okay, so JP was heading back up here to go beat Mothula, so because of the way he routed Skull Woods, fortunately ended up losing time, having to walk all the way back up here for this. But, he still has all of Swamp Palace done, so he's going to take a crystal lead over Fylion, but, Phylion's still knocking out these checks, and if he can find the items that he needs, that's not going to be it.
Nope.
He would be pretty excited to be able to go mode Swamp Palace.
And JP has already shown us Swamp Palace, and there wasn't much there. Alright. Fylion heading back to the Dark Shopping Mall. Or, no, there was a
key on Lake Hylia. But at this point, I don't think we really care about small keys anymore.
No. I mean, looking at what Fylion has, it's either a useless Ice Palace key, a useless Meyer key, or a not so useless Pod key, but useless that from what we know. Oh, he hasn't been here. That's why he's going here. And JP, meanwhile, gonna go ahead and check Harmless Hellway and get those sticks we found.
Yeah, so unfortunately for JP, he's gonna end up going through this bow section 4 times just to get all the checks out of here, but Pod is kind of one of those deal breaker scenarios where I don't know, I feel like it always has a great opportunity to ruin a run or someone to lose a race based on how they route it or if they skip anything in there. But yeah, so we just got those overall checks left to do. Those 2 checks in Eastern that Fylion has. And yeah, all of Meyer that we have access to.
Yep.
It'll be interesting to see what is the deciding play.
Orange Kupo bringing up something in chat that I've actually tried out. Synac has made a special mode called True Ice Rod Hunt, where Triforce is on Trinex. The 214 of the 215 available locations have nothing, and the last one has the Ice Rod. And so you're opening a bunch of empty chests, trying to find one Ice Rod to go kill a Trinex.
Sounds terrible.
It is terrible. Let me tell you, it's fun, but it's terrible.
It just sounds... It's funny. It just sounds like mindless, tedious work. It doesn't sound interesting, honestly. Like, if you got time to kill, you might as well do it, or, you might as well just run, like, a Triforce Hunt, or run just the Z3R sim or something.
It was a fun little gimmick, I'll say that.
Alright, so, we know that our players need to just check some of these things, like left side maze race.
Which I've completely forgot about.
It's an easy one to forget about. GT?
No.
And JP going for the Aga play. Unfortunately, we know that this is not it. So this is looking like opportunity. fylion gonna find that Ice Palace Big Key, which is awful. Kana Samaria though.
Kana Samaria is big. That opens up more. That opens up all of Chartle Rock to be explored. Can't finish it though without the Ice Rod.
Nope. Huh, that is interesting. So I find it interesting that JP is going for the sequence break, the Dark Aga play, as opposed to continuing to clear more of the overworld. But at the same time, you know, we've seen seeds where you finish it without ever finding the lamp. So it's not necessarily a bad play.
Ooh, we also have these Bonk Rock locations, which has a Gainus Cave.
Hookshot Cave is done. We still haven't seen... Did we ever find Pyramid Fairy Cave? Yes. I know we found one of them.
I think we found both of them.
Okay. So all that's left... We still haven't been back to Mimic Cave at Sahasrara's hut. And then, of course, we have Big Bomb, which is probably not going to happen. I mean, I guess it could have... No. Well, it could have the Desert Big. That'd be about it, if there's anything behind it.
Yeah.
But, actually, no, we can't... Well, I mean, unless it's like GT or something. I don't know.
Speaking of GT!
Man, these boots are really showing up here. Well, if JP, after doing Aga Tower, does his Kakariko well at Lumberjack, maybe he'll continue checking stuff with these boots and head in this direction. Just waiting for GT Big Key to show up here, as it tends to do.
22 of the 27 locations are available to us. Useless map to Hyrule Castle. Half magic, that's useful. Compass, not so useful. And a piece of heart. And Dark Magician. There's vanilla. There's French vanilla Big Key.
Called it. Easy call. All right. Well, you know it's got to be kind of rough for fylion. You know he's thinking about that Swamp Palace right now. He's like, oh, I'm about to do a full clear GT for nothing. But at the same time, this could all be a bunch of junk, and then Magic Bat, which is at Ganon, I think. The Ganon drop could be the progression that we seek.
Which means there are 28 locations, 6 we've already found. Here comes 4 more. Map, Eastern. Big Key to Desert.
Desert.
Odd Key.
Just need an Ice Rod now, right?
TR Big Key.
And TR up, yeah.
So we're down to 2 for go mode. And fylion says, I'm good with that.
I'll work with what I got. We'll come back if we need to.
He's gonna go finish off Lambo.
Man, where the heck is this lamp? I would assume now it's just gonna be in GT, probably.
Meyer, maybe?
Yeah, we did have access to that after we got the hook shot.
I mean, boots were...
They were about midway through Eastern.
They were midway... They were before... Yeah, they were before the lamp block location.
Yeah. Alright, JP, what's the next play gonna be? Probably go check Cackwell, but what are you gonna do after that? We now know where some of the progression lies. We need JP, if he wants to get what fylion has, he needs to go check left side maze race. He'll find Hype Cave, which has that Kana Samaria, and I think there was something else there, maybe?
Nope, that was it.
Just that? Okay. Maybe a useless small key. And then he needs to go check the Bonk Rocks next to Link's house. In one of the... I think it was the Light World.
Yeah, it was the Light World. And Compass, but crystal number 5, fylion.
So, tied back up in crystals. Ice Big. Okay, that's what I thought. Ew. So yeah, this Ice Rod and this T-Rock Big could still be somewhere nasty. It could be top of GT. It could just be in the other part of the basement of GT. Could be at Magic Bat at the Ganon Drop. It could be in that Ice Palace Big Chest. Could be in the 2 spots in Eastern Palace. Could still be in Mire, which we haven't seen any of yet.
Although
work out. Oh,
JP's gonna find GT. Unfortunately, will not be able to get that Desert Big Key because no Samaria means no right side. And speaking of Samarias and, well, left sides, Phylion's gonna do the rest of TR that he can do at this point, which is pretty much everything but Trinex.
It's just funny that JP got the big key in his first chest in GT. That's just really funny.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the interesting thing is we're going to see more of GT on JP's side, so maybe JP can find one of the other progression items that we're still looking for, including the Ice Rod or the T-Rock Big that Fylion has missed out on. If not, it could be sending him on a bit of a goose chase looking for nothing. He will also get his Gold Sword and his Half Magic, I think, which were in Stalfos. At least one of them. I know Half Magic was right here. Was this Gold Sword right here?
Butter was in right side desert.
Okay, alright, sorry.
That's alright.
Yeah, they all look the same.
Look, try to keep your bearings straight and cross keys when you're running it is hard enough. Trying to watch 2 of these people do it and keep track of where all they bit is even harder.
So for JP, he needs to find. I'd say if he finds Ice Rod over here, and no, it's tough because if he finds Ice Rod and T-Rock Big, and then finds the Cane of Samaria, he's not going to immediately come back to GT to that Desert Big.
There's a lamp.
Good game, dude. Good game. Oh, Skull Woods. Hey, there's another big chest for you, buddy.
Fylion first gonna go check what the TR entrance is.
Can't imagine what benefit he'd get from checking this. Yeah. Well, now he knows.
Now he knows. There's
the Hyrule Castle Small, so the mirror is now in logic. Pretty sure that's how that works. Maybe that's not a cross keys thing.
It is. Because it's still key sanity. Key sanity logic doesn't change just because we screwed around with the entrances. I think it would only change for Turtle Rock.
Yeah, it looks like Fylion now is going to be... I think this is looking like a Swamp Palace play. Or Graveyard Ledge first.
Yeah, I think this is Graveyard.
At this point, I don't think there's any other new things we're looking for other than T-Rock Big Chest.
Or the other side of Spectacle Rock, which really wasn't going to help us all that much.
Yeah, I think it was just like a heart container.
Yep. And both of them have got enough hearts at this point to finish the game. Especially on Red Mail. Alright, Ice Armor's down for JP. 3 more items to check here. 3 hundo, piece of heart, and bombs.
Dang. That's unfortunate.
But JP is gonna run the gauntlet.
Ooh, okay. This is a big play. While it looks like Fylion is gonna go into Misery Mire.
Alright.
Both players making some big... Wow, fylion really doesn't want to go Swamp Palace. He found Swamp Palace, right? I mean, I would assume so. That's the thing, though. If JP does find the Ice Rod or the T-Rock Big up here, I can't... I feel like this is going to be, like, the last thing that fylion does. Just because he's already been in GT. But I could be wrong. He seems to want to not do Swamp Palace anytime soon, so he might continue to not do Swamp Palace.
I mean, honestly, at this point...
Nice. Sorry. fylion did the cool door extension dealy, where you can kind of phase to that that railing there to get down. It was nice.
Very nice, indeed. But no, I mean, I'm trying to kind of figure out, like, at some point he has to make the Swamp Palace play, which, I mean, has to in the sense of there's 10 items. You've still got GT on the table. You've cleared out TR. I mean, fylyon's done most everything he can do. There's not much left. There's the other ice key.
Small, yep.
And the thing is that at this point, you know, we've talked about the fact that we found the ice big key. fylion has not found the skull big key because it was on the left side of GT. But the thing is like you're starting to get to the point where you're down to one-off location or a huge chunk of GT, like. And Swamp. I kind of feel like those are the two main plays that fylyon's going to have left before you would, you know, take a lot of time on a gamble that the Ice Palace big chest or the Skullwoods big chest has the one thing you need.
Yeah, or the two remaining checks in Eastern that he still has as well.
Yeah, because he did get that Eastern key.
Yeah, and if there's something there, then JP still needs to go get that Quake medallion off Floating Island, which was attached to Bumper Ledge, or Bumper Cave. There's that Dark Agna over the bar area. And if that ends up being the answer, then fylyon's going to kind of take quite a bit more of a lead here. I'd say he's already kind of leading, assuming he just waits until he goes to Swamp Palace until he's in go mode. What do we got? Wow, so the Meyer play not paying off at all. JP got to be very careful. He does have a fairy on him, so he's fine. I think he was in Spec Cave when he grabbed one, so he's good. Come on, guys, pay attention. Come on. Oh,
Meyer.
Misery. My God.
See, the problem was you were saying it right as you were saying it right as I was getting ready to react, and so it was so much that I didn't stop myself. Well, okay, there we go. For future reference, he has another fairy. Hey, there's another piece of heart. Hey, time for Children 2.
Okay, this seed continues to get interesting. So JP needs to go to the left side maze race to get his Cane of Samaria. Only thing he's finding up here so far is that Meyer Big, but that could still be something.
There were
that
two
could be our Ice Rod.
Or TR Big Key.
Yeah.
Let's see what Crystal Roller Room has. The Ice Rod!
Wow. All right, so we are on the hunt for one last big key. fylion definitely in the driver's seat here. If this big key ends up being at Magic Bat on JP's side, boy, I tell you, we got a race. But, oh, and it looks like fylyon's going right back in. So if it is, fylion probably looking pretty good. I'm amazed that he continues to put off Swamp Palace. Like, that just seems such a risky play. But at the same time, you know, can't always play safe. You're not going to always win if you play super safe. And doing Swamp would be the safe play, obviously. Very nice fight over on JP's side.
Very nice.
Cycle, maybe? fylion, stop trying to show off. Just hit the star. Just hit the star.
There you go.
You're embarrassing me.
How was he embarrassing you?
Because it's my friend. All right, Magic Bat. What's it gonna be? Big play on JP's side. He needs this to be that T-Rock big. Otherwise, things are gonna get a little dicey for him.
Well, the curse that the Magic Bat gives today is the heart container.
And now is when the fear sets in. Because now he's done both Aga Tower and the GT climb for nothing. But a Meyer big. That's about it.
Yeah.
So, and I could see JP maybe head straight to Meyer. Almost looking like the route he's taken with this. Or he might go ahead and do the Bonk Rocks at the Big Bomb, K45 and find T-Rock entrance and all the way over to Maze Left, which would be beneficial. It looks like that's what he's doing.
Yep.
So this is good for him. So yeah, where the heck is that big key gonna be?
So far, we've got Skullwood's big chest, Ice Palace big chest, Meyer big chest, Vitreous,
Eastern?
Armos and Eastern big chest. We know Pedestal is just a heart container.
I have a feeling, though, after this play, assuming fylion does go up the gauntlet, I would assume he's going to go to Swamp next. If he doesn't, I'm going to yell at him, just because that's so ballsy, and I'm like, how dare you? How dare you play like this? Alright, well, this is looking good for JP, because even if he checks, even when he checks this and finds his T-Rock entrance, he can't do anything in there, so he'll leave right away. As long as he doesn't forget about left side maze race, he'll be getting his Cane of Samaria soon and his Ice Big, and then I'd probably assume for him he's just going to go straight to Meyer. We might actually see what's in there, or he might come back right to T-Rock and do the front of that.
He's going east.
That looks like a Meyer play. That's unfortunate.
Or a Bombos tablet.
Uh-huh.
Or,
damn.
also, yeah, he's got to check the item.
This is bad. Left side maze race is a really easy one to miss.
You know what both of them forgot?
Tile room.
Tile room.
Did they forget it, or did they just not do it?
Not do it, but I don't think JP left GT. Well, Samaria.
JP couldn't do it. Yeah.
JP couldn't do it because of Samaria. Yeah, I is smart. SMRT.
All right, JP, go to left side maze race, please, for your boy Willard, for my team. You're kind of all the way far away from that. Oh. Wait. Oh. Well, he is going to go into Meyer. He's going to clear it. He might find the T-Rock big in the big chest. It's possible.
Got a big 20 in the tile room. fylion leaves, and now we'll run the gauntlet. All right. Can't clear Meyer without Cane. Can't do Vitreous. Yeah. Again,
Did someone say
SMRT.
he was going to clear it? Did you say that? Who said
I
that?
might have. I don't know.
All right, well, if it is in fact the Meyer big chest, then this play is good for fylion. If it's not, and in fact Skullwoods or Ice Big, then this is good for JP, because fylion's gonna spend the time doing this for nothing. And this race will continue to be close, but with JP putting off that left side maze race, and who knows when he's gonna go do that, because now it's extremely isolated. Like, if there was any time to do it, it was when he was checking K45.
Wasn't Desert Big Key at Meyer that you needed the Quake for?
Desert Big was right side GT that you need Samaria for.
Ah, okay, yeah.
Eastern Big was locked in Mire by the Quake Medallion. So, man, it's tough to say. Like, this could still go either way. But it definitely looks like Phylion's got a bit of a lead. Just because he has that Cane of Samari and that Ice Rod, he's looking for one more item. But I still think he might go ahead and go back to Mire right away, but seeing as he just did it, nice double spin on that. It was sick. Yeah, I just want to know when he's going to go to Swamp.
Alright. This will be new information for us shortly, as JP has that big key to Mire. Fylion did not have in his run. Although I forget he's still got to do the right side.
Because the thing is, if JP finds the T-Rock big, he can't do anything with it.
Nope.
So, and he gets to skip out on having to fight Vitreous. But at this point, he might go back to Ice. He might go back to Skull before he remembers to do left side Maze Race. I mean, he knows that Hype Cave is still out there, if he's taking good notes.
Alright. Now, we will have the new information that we are not having, because as Fylion is about to get that Mire big key, JP is about to use it for $50.
$50. Alright, well. The race is on. Now, could still be on Vitreous, so that big key that Phylion's getting could still be required. But JP has got to go. He's got to make some decisions now. He's got to make some tough decisions. Have we seen Mimic Cave yet? I keep on asking.
Yes.
I don't remember. Did we?
It was a shop.
No, I mean the Mimic Cave item, which was at Sahas Rala's.
Oh, yeah. Right. Maybe JP's gonna...
Dude, if it's there the whole time, I'm just...
If it's there the whole time, laughter will ensue.
It's one of those, like, I'll write this down, and then completely forget about it.
Alright. Mimic Cave. We've had this for a long time. We've had the hammer for over an hour. What in this Sphere 1 check do we have? $50.
$50. Why is it always $50? Alright, the hunt continues. Skullwood's big chest, Ice Palace big chest, Eastern big chest, Armos, Vitreous. That's what we're looking for. Alright, JP, where are you heading off to now? This is... Oh, he's going to do Lava Chest and Chain Chomp.
Or he already did that. He hasn't... He has the other... Oh, no, those are all from the bridge. My bad.
So, right now, if it's Eastern Palace at all, Fylion takes this. Assuming he goes there. I'm assuming Fylion at this point is either going to go finish Mire or he's going to go start Swamp. I'm assuming because he continues to put off Swamp that he's probably going to go do Mire next. And if it's Vitreous, then Fylion will be in go mode and be looking to take this one. Was Swamp Palace in the Dark World or the Light World? Do you remember? I know it was like the Lumberjack House, I think.
Dark World Lumberjack House, I think.
Okay, well, with that, you could... Well, no, not really. Because I think if you go check the big chest to Skull Woods, you're going to get locked in the back. Alright, JP, what's it going to be next? I'm really worried that he's just forgotten about it. He needs to flute to 3, go to the Dark World, and go south. But...
Chat, just... Neither runner well, neither. Well, granted, Phylion's the only one with the Desert Big Key, but I don't think he's checked Desert Big Chest. I think he just went right for, the Lambo. I don't think he's checked the big chest either, so it might also be that one. And hey, here's the Meyer play.
All right.
And while we're checking on that, Foolsville giving us a Twitch Prime sub for 2 months in a row. Thank you very much, Foolsville.
Not sure what JP was going for there with that dark cave. Maybe he's thinking it was going to take him somewhere else. Okay. This could very well just be him checking the Skullwoods Big instead of going to left side maze race. Please go south. Come on. Come on, JP, you can do it, man.
Well, he's going south.
Okay. This is good. This is better.
He's getting warmer.
Oh.
Yeah, it's getting colder.
It's probably Graveyard Ledge. It's an easy one to forget. It's a very easy one to forget. So I understand. Kind of sucks that it ended up being Hype Cave, but that's how it goes sometimes. It could just, that one check, that one cave you skip ends up being that one that you need. So right now, regardless of the situation, fylion is in the driver's seat for this race. Looking pretty well. fylion has everything he needs to check everything, while JP does not. He's going back.
Getting warmer. Now you're getting colder again.
Well, I mean, if it's here, he's still on the hunt. Fylion looked like he was trying to do the spooky, I think, maybe?
Right. Excuse me.
Is that close enough for the hole? Nope.
Nope. It's a little bit off. There, you got it. Oh, no. Oh, no.
There it is. All right. Okay, all right. This is good for JP. Assuming he remembers. There's nothing he could do right now. If he goes to Maze Race, he'll get the Cane of Samaria. Then he can just go to the front or go to Laser Bridge. He'll find the Ice Rod. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what he's planning. Where's he going?
Vanilla Meyer key.
Mercy.
And yes, chat, we are in no mode. So here's essentially what we got. Here's essentially what the runners got to do. If you're Willard and you're rooting for JP, you need to go to left side race game, mirror there, and go get your big key to desert from...
Close.
Or no, he's got to get... That's where the Cane of Samaria is. Then go back to GT, go right side. That's where the desert big key is. And then your Ice Rod is in the Crystal Roller Room. fylion, meanwhile, now just has to go to Skullwoods to get these Skullwoods big chest, which is where the TR big chest is. Okay? You're getting warmer. You're getting warmer.
Go down. Joe, JP, please. I gave you one rule before the race. No dumps. And this is one of them. This is unfortunate. It's so hard to watch, man. I just want it to be a close race, and it's not looking like it's going to happen.
So...
Did we ever even find the T-Rock big chest? That's got to be probably at, like, GT or something.
Or TR itself.
JP's going to get his Ice Rod.
Although we haven't found Ether yet. Yeah. Alright, we got a raid from Speed Gaming 6 coming in with a party of 99. Thank you guys for joining us. So, recap real quick. fylion just needs to go to Skullwoods go back to the big chest and get the TR big key from there, and he's in go mode. JP has a little bit more to do. He's got to go to the left side race game, get his cane of Samaria. He's about to pick up Ice Rod in 3, 2, 1. And then with that cane of Samaria, go back to GT right side and go get the Desert Big Key, and he will be in go mode.
Yeah, and fylion is giving him time to go make these checks with this play back into Eastern Palace. Is it actually happening? Are you going to debate us one more time, JP? Is this going to be the Hail Mary play that's going to completely turn this race around? I can't, my heart can't handle another one of these, JP. Please go south for me.
Warmer. Warmer.
Oh.
Warmer. Warmer.
No. Purple chest?
Purple chest.
Yeah.
Which is gonna suck, because now he's gonna...
He might do both at the same time. He's gonna do both at the same time. JP, why? Why would you do this to me? You know he's gonna do hair abasement next. We know we are gonna see probably a blind pull pedestal from fylion. I don't think he's checked it. I think JP was the only one that actually checked it.
Yeah, JP was the only one. I think chat's saying that fylion found ether in the eastern big chest, which would open up TR.
Oh, that's interesting. Oh my god, JP, are you? Don't do it again.
JP, go west, young JP. Yes, go west.
Oh my goodness! All right. Hey. Wow, I can't believe it's actually happening. I cannot believe it.
Mushroom on Armos Knight.
That sucks, dude. That sucks so bad. I feel bad.
Alright. There's Ice Big Key. There's Skullwoods map. There's your cane.
Yeah, where were the silver arrows?
GT...
Swamp big chest.
Swamp, yep. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Okay, well, JP, 2 hours, 24 minutes, and seconds. He's in go mode, I'm sure. And all he has to do is go kill Lambolas, which I believe were in Kakariko, and go kill Trinix. I don't know why he's going into the front of T-Rock. He knows where Laser Bridge is. This is a long way to do this, JP, while fylion is... He's probably going to pull Ped and then probably head into Skull Woods.
JP still doesn't have the Desert Big
Desert? Key. Oh, okay. The tracker says he does.
Yeah, just a mismark. The tracker technology is not so good. We love our trackers. We love our tracker, MathGirl718. Okay. The tracker software itself, on the other hand, left more to be desired.
I honestly just kind of completely... I was so worried about this Canis Mario. I completely forgot about that. Well, he is going to get his lamp. He's going to beat the dungeon, which is going to send him back to the front. And then I would assume he'd just go right back in to Desert. And this is looking like a T-Rock opening for fylion. But the thing is, there's no other caves left. There's nothing for him to check. I don't think we ever... Did we find the Witch's Hut? I don't know if we ever found that.
We did. I remember seeing it somewhere nasty, but I don't remember where it was.
Did fylion ever find Swamp? I always have a feeling that he hasn't. We could be commentating a completely different race if fylion just never found Swamp. But yeah.
Where was
Swamp?
Lumberjack,
right?
Dark Roll Lumberjack, yes. Again, yeah. It's 12:40 here in Tennessee, and I am, I'm surprised I'm doing well this far.
Doing a bang-up job. All right, well, here's the thing. For JP, he'll beat Trinex. All he has to do is go back into GT, which he just got Samaria. I can't imagine him not immediately doing that, as opposed to some of the more awful options that he has right now, like Vitreous. So I feel like JP is back, has taken the lead, especially with fylion, unfortunately, checking some of these less good locations, which are just going to be another fairy fountain. If JP goes to Ice Palace big before going back into GT, he's off the team. Just get him out of here. That does beg the question, though. I'm very curious if him putting off left side maze race was a choice or a misthought. Because that's the thing. I don't ever want to assume that someone forgot something, though I'm close to assuming that fylion forgot where Swamp was, or didn't write it down, or never found it. Oh yeah, he didn't have Zora. He has 2,300 rupees right now. I think he can afford a couple Zoras.
4, actually.
All right, JP. GT is right over there. You can flute to 4. That'll be faster. Uh-huh. 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 What does this play? Hair Basement?
Big Bomb.
Big Bomb, okay. Alright. Once again, I don't know what... If you're tracking, there's literally no new locations left to unlock, I don't think. Assuming we found Witch's Hut. We've already found everything. Except, he might be looking for T-Rock Big Chest, so... Okay, the race isn't over yet. We're not done yet. I want to know what's going on in both these guys' brains right now. Especially when we're so close to 2.5 hours.
I think the question for both of them is, why the heck is the other runner not finished? And man, is this messed up? And an empty bottle in the TR big chest.
Alright, JP, what's gonna be the play? Mirror, flute to 3. Alright, we found all the caves. You don't have to go into any new caves. Nothing's new. So... coffee break.
Here's coffee break. Hey,
I wish this race was over. I want it to be over right now.
You're 2.5 hours in. You might as well take a coffee break. Who knows? JP just might be doing this for the coffee break.
Well, it looks like fylion is about to get his T-Rock Big from Skull Woods coming up.
Or going the wrong way.
I should just stop talking until they actually do the thing that I'm saying they're doing. I'm sorry, chat. I keep on lying to you. He still needs to do all of Swamp Palace still.
Oh, he was checking. That's where Potion Shop was.
Okay. So we've seen everything. I see nothing but checkboxes.
Alright.
Well, he will get to go mode his Swamp Palace like he wanted.
That is if he remembers where it is.
I just can't believe he's still putting it off. It just blows my mind.
Orange Kupo asking, week 6 is spoiler key sanity 2v2, right? It's still 1v1. You have a pilot that can read through said spoiler, but they're not actually running. And at 2 hours, 30 minutes, and 48 seconds, fylion is in go mode, pending he knows where Swamp is, and he hasn't been putting it off the whole time. And, well, yeah. Oh, hey! JP's back to GT.
So, yeah, JP gonna hit go mode here shortly once he checks, it's in Compass Room.
Yes.
He'll probably still go ahead and do Tower Room, but the difference is a Land Mollusk fight versus a Trinex plus Swamp play. So JP, despite not being the first one in go mode, is definitely in the driver's seat of this race now. what a series! This last 20-some minutes has been literally painful. I am in so much pain watching this. And it's not judging the players at all. It's just so hard to sit here and watch both players run around where they need to go for like 20 minutes straight. It is so hard.
And at 2 hours, 31 minutes, and 50 seconds, JP's in go mode, and he knows.
Jeez.
So yeah,
man.
JP's got to just do Lammo and then go kill a pig. And JP has silvers, so I gotta think JP is in the lead at this point.
Yeah, and with Ganon being in the Lost Woods, as soon as he finishes this, he just has to run up and put down Ganon. We'll be done in the next 4-some minutes.
Very shortly.
Yeah, for a long time, fylion, especially with that Cane of Samaria and that Ice Rod and the Desert Big, was looking good. He was looking like he was going to take this race, but then unfortunately for him, he just picked all the wrong options, looking for that T-Rock Big, which sucks. It just really sucks. So I feel bad for him. That's rough.
Drosy, where were silvers that fylion didn't get? They are in the Skullwoods big chest because fylion has been avoiding Skullwoods like coronavirus is there.
All right. 1 silver, misses the second one, misses the third. And it looks like fylion is going to go ahead and check. Big Bomb, he doesn't know where Swamp is.
Probably
he didn't
not.
write it down. Okay, that makes so much more sense. Oh no. fylion, no. He had to have found it, right? Oh, man. That's unfortunate. That is unfortunate. Swamp was at the Dark World Lumberjack house, I'm pretty sure. That makes so much more sense why he never went there, because it's 10 items. You could full clear it. And even with Samaria, you can do like Diver Down to do the stuff even faster, so it makes sense. Alright, we're going to see a map check on Phylion's side. The whole pause, look at inventory, look at map. Think about it. JP, gold, sword, and silver is going to be able to get through the first 2 phases of this fight. And then, yeah, he's got plenty of health. Red mail. I think he still has that fairy in a bottle. Yeah, it would make a lot more sense if fylion just never checked. That is kind of a one-off location. You know what? It was probably when he... Because they popped out of Bumper Ledge, grabbed a GT Small that I think was up there, and he might have dropped down to go down to, like, Dark Sank or Curiosity Shop or something like that. Maybe not Curiosity, because that's where the hammer was, but...
Maybe. But it won't matter, because Ganon's down. JP's just got to wait for the fanfare to finish. And once he walks through that door, JP will finish with an official SRL time, 2 hours, 35 minutes, and 34 seconds. Spam those GGs in chat. Yep, you have wasted 2 hours of your life.
Jeez. What a whirlwind. It looks like fylion has also thrown in the towel, so we get to have both of them come in at the same time.
Yes, we do. Gotta drag him in here. I said drag him in here. Hey, JP and fylion, GG's to both of you.
Thank you.
Oh, where are we?
fylion, I got to know.
Yeah.
For hours, at least a full hour, I was like, why is fylion not going to Swamp?
Okay, so, you know what's great about a 10-minute delay
Mm-hmm.
is it gives me time to load up my VOD and go back through.
Oh no.
And I want to clip it and paste the Benny Hill theme right over it, because it involves me coming out of the Lost Woods, going to check the Lumberjack Cave, and then walking out and just going south to the Mountain Cave.
So it was Light Road Lumberjack House?
Yeah, and I had the glove, so I was like, oh, I should go pick up that rock that will let me get into the cave at the bottom of Death Mountain. And I don't think I've ever made that mistake. So there's a first time for everything.
Yeah. It was wild to watch because you had such a big lead towards the end because of your left side maze race, which we'll talk to you about that soon, JP. Because I'm very curious. So the whole time I was just like, okay, when's he gonna go to swamp? Okay, he's gonna save for later. And I mean, it's gonna work out because you would have gotten to go mode it. But then it was finally after you beat Trinex and you got the big bum where it hit. I was like, oh, that's not the case.
Oh yeah, no, I had done the math, and I was pretty sure that Turtle Rock Big Chest was at Ganon, and then the Swamp Palace was at the Pyramid, and then the only other thing I wasn't confirmed about was that last connector that indeed dumped me out at the Turtle Rock safety door. So that all made sense, except I miswalked a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, mistakes were made.
Okay. Dang, I'm sorry, man. That's rough.
I mean, yeah, it's rough to lose to JP based on something dumb 10 minutes in, as opposed to, some brilliant clutch play one of us did. But
yeah,
those are the breaks. And JP wins because he was able to not screw up like that. So,
and definitely the nature of. Definitely the nature of cross keys or just enter shuffle in general. Yeah,
I know. I've seen people do that all week, and I was like, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. Oops.
Yeah.
But I want to hear what JP did.
Yeah, JP, GG's man. That was.
Thank you.
The last 30 minutes was awful to watch for me mentally. My heart and my brain and my face is just red. Just watching you guys go back and forth. Swapping places. fylion had like a pretty significant lead with some of his plays, getting the items he needed, and it was just like, okay, where's JP gonna go next? And I'm just sitting there holding my breath. So of course, obviously, the first thing I have to ask is, left side maze race, was that just a conscious choice?
To
put it off, or was it like a
kind of? I would never say I forgot about it. I never really did. But it's kind of like every time I was starting to head over that way, I'd figure out something else I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And so I kept putting it off as a result.
Because, like, the best moment you had to do it was when you were checking K45. And it was like...
Yeah, and I actually was thinking I was going to do it right after K45, and then... I forget. I think when I saw the Turtle Rock entrance, it kind of threw me off, and that thought went out the window.
Yeah, because then you were like, I need to see what the item is at the dam. I need to go do Bombo's tablet. And then...
Yeah, and I find that's the interesting nature of entrance rando, especially in the cross keys. It's like, you always have something on your mind that you want to do.
Mm-hmm. I'm surprised you guys took so long to finally go back to Sahasrara's hut for Mimic Cave. If something had been there, that would have been hilarious.
It would have. It was one of those things funny. Like Hammer was kind of late. And then by the time we got it, we didn't immediately have Flute, and then by the time we got Flute, suddenly there was all of Mire open, and
I thought I had hammered like 20 minutes.
Yeah, JP got Hammer before the Thieves Town play.
Yeah.
fylion, you weren't that far behind with the Hammer.
I felt like an absolute genius when I didn't dip beyond the first floor of Thieves Town, found the Hammer, and then was like, hey, I can go beat Thieves Town now.
It was funny because because the Thieves Town Big was literally like right next door.
I was so tempted to go back in, but I was like, this would be a bad idea.
Man, one of the other interesting parts is you guys both basically finding Agatower at the exact same time. And fylion, you kept going. You actually did a good job hitting the torches. You had more magic than JP at the time. JP, I think you got past the first two chests, and then you bailed. Was it what?
I kind of got stuck at one spot with the two guards just like kneeling me in a corner. I was about to die, and I'm like, you know what? This isn't.
This isn't worth it? Is that what you said? Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm surprised you didn't just like take the Death Warp and then go through the Ice Palace entrance, but at the same time, it's like frustration takes over, and you just want to save and quick get out of there as quickly as you can.
Exactly. You know, it's that's basically what it is. And you know, there's moments like that in the seed where it's like, I do something and then 2-3 seconds later, I'm like, oh, that was stupid. I could have done this instead.
Yeah, and then, you know, fylion did that. He was the first one to get boots. We saw at Lumberjack having nothing.
You know, that was the kind of thing where I got it. And I was like, I'm kind of disappointed this is nothing because my Aga Tower climb was really good. But also I don't feel bad for taking this bait because this bait was so tempting. I can't imagine JP. When the game gives you two castle tower keys that early, you're just like, it's gotta be something there.
And it's interesting, especially with where Lamp ended up showing up in the front of T-Rock on the right side, that you guys still went ahead and went for it. Like, Lamp is just kind of a whatever, who cares? That's one logic you can skip. It means nothing.
Basically, in a lot of these cross keys, it's like, if I'm still looking for Lamp, I almost just think, okay, it's in an entrance somewhere far away that I could get to, but I haven't checked yet. And it could easily always be that. So
I thought it was on too much into the Lamp cave for a long time. I was just like, yeah, that's what I skipped. That's fine.
I think the only thing we ended up not seeing was the Ice Palace big chest. That was it.
Pretty much.
We never saw. And the interesting thing is, JP, you never got that Quake Medallion on Floating Island. Did fylion tell you how he got it?
No, he didn't.
I think that was like you walked through.
It was Bumper Cave and Dark Agana over in the Mire area. Got you to the Floating Island. And then Blind's Hut was at Mire's Shed, which had the Eastern Big Key.
Oh.
Yeah, and then Eastern Big Chest had Ether. So then, of course, fylion went and checked. And Armos didn't Armos have the freaking mushroom? It just got worse.
Yeah. So
it just got worse.
I mean, I'm not going to speculate on what would have gone differently if I had played something different 12 minutes into the race, because you actually can't do that. But I will just share kind of what I was thinking for most of the second half of the race, which was, hey, I've found every dungeon but Swamp Palace. I'm not that interested in items. I'm going to try to check every entrance I can. And I did that. And then I was like, there are 2 entrances left. One's at the Pyramid. One's at Turtle Rock. I guess I'm going back to look for items so I can find Ether Medallion and only Ether Medallion.
Yeah.
Which is why I kind of rushed up there so quickly after Easter, because it was like, oh, that seems like a good spot. That's the kind of stuff.
That's
stuff
just
cross keys will do.
Just reeks of cross keys right there. Well, GG's to both you guys. This was a wild race to finish. Generally kind of nice seed at the beginning with both mitts, early Pearl. You know, Boots was like an hour and a half in. Hammer was like 30 minutes in, maybe. Swords were early. At least the first one was. So
is that nice? I don't know. I hate
first. That's how they always start.
Mitts and Pearl at the start, because it's like I can do all this deep stuff, or I can keep doing Sphere 1. I don't know.
Yeah. It's always a tough call. But yeah, GG's to both you guys. Congrats on just getting through this. Finally, still got through it without doing Swamp, so that's fine. I'm looking at credits, so I'm just assuming he beat it.
Yeah, when I did that, I just wanted my collection rate. I apologize to anyone who drafted me in the league, because I don't think you get points when I do that. So sorry, Ack and whoever the other fool was.
Alrighty, guys. Well, it's been a long couple hours, so I'm sure you guys all of us are ready to call it a night.
Yes.
So,
sure, why not? Take it away.
Yeah. You guys have any last words? I'll let my co-com or my main com? I'm the co-com today. He did the intro, so I'm the co-com. I'll let my main commentator wrap this up for us.
Willard, you are too modest, because I'm the newbie of all of the four of us that are in this room right now. So, anywho, but we do want to, of course, thank fylion and JP for the entertainment that they did give us tonight, and for all of the insanity that ensued. Please be sure to get both of them follows on Twitch. Another shout out to our tracker, MathGirl718, keeping track of all those items that we were finding. And Willard J. Bradley, it certainly was a pleasure having you in the commentary booth tonight.
I had fun.
It certainly was a blast. And tomorrow, we have still got a bunch of rando on deck for Cross Keys Week finishing up, although only one race has been set up for speed gaming just yet, so we'll see what the you'll need to kind of stay tuned to the schedule to see what other races will be on the Speed Gaming Network or the ALTTP League channels. So, for fylion, for JP, for Willard, for Math Girl, I am Jex Reffi. Thank you all so much for watching. I need to go to bed. We'll see you next mission.